Hi, everybody. It's Big Ed Mustafa, and we're live here with Adventures After Dark. Tonight, we're going to start off with Little Ed Mustafa. He's a burglar. He's 87th level, and he is in Rohan trying to finish up some height bolt dailies. But before we get too far into things tonight, I just want to go ahead and basically talk about something that happened to me earlier today. Um, I went out to grab some lunch, left the office, drove to a local pizza place that wasn't too far down the street from the office, and I ordered some slices, and I was enjoying a cold, crisp, refreshing Coke Zero while I was waiting for my pizza. And so I thought, well, check news really quick, and I looked at news on my phone, and there wasn't a whole lot in there. Just about 200 stories about how Donald Trump is the devil. Uh, that's okay. I've kind of gotten used to seeing that in the news, so nothing too startling. And then I thought, well, gee, I wonder if there's anything new and interesting going on Twitter. So I pop onto Twitter, and it says that I have 14 new notifications. And I thought, wow, that's a lot of notifications. I wonder what could possibly be going on. So I click notifications, and this is what comes up.
Good evening, Mr. Ed.
Hi, Feckless. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I am doing good. I was just describing what horrors awaited me on my Twitter account today because Zinger was kind enough to post this little gem.
Oh, God, what?
The 5 tenets of streaming.
Oh, yes. I've seen that.
So, as I was describing last week, to have a really good Lotro stream, you have to do 5 things. You have to eat on camera. You have to fish. You have to do crafting. You need to do your daily task turn ins, and you need to fumble a lot with inventory management. Those are really the 5 keys. If you get some questing and some raiding done, if you level up, if you get some rare drops on a skirmish or a raid, that's all fine and well. But really, it's those 5 things that are going to set you apart from the average Lotro streamer. So Zinger was kind enough to type all of that up and put it into one glorious meme for the whole world to see. So I wanted to thank Zinger for that. And we'll figure out a way to get back at him someday, I suppose. But
I just love the way he's got your face on it.
yeah, and like I said, I should be more mad about the picture than I was, but it's the thinnest I've looked in a long time, so I'll take it. And that's probably about what my hair would look like if I let it grow out, so we're all good. Anyway, I know not everybody has a Twitter account, and even if you do, you may or may not be following me, so you may not have seen
Now,
it.
which hair are you on about? On top of the head or on the chin?
My live head is if I let my hair grow out, it would look like Moses in the picture. So I just wanted
So,
to share Zinger's creative work with everybody here before we got too far along. I thought folks might enjoy seeing that. So, if you're taking notes at home, remember those are the 5 pillars of quality Lotro streaming. Learn from our pioneering efforts here on Lotro Stream so that you too can become a quality Lotro streamer. How's your week going, Feckless? You've got some big news for everybody.
yeah, it's going really well. Nervous. I'm very nervous,
Nothing to
actually.
be nervous about. My goal here on Lotro Stream is to stream so badly that it gives the whole rest of the team the confidence to forge ahead, knowing that, well, at least I'm going to do better than Big Ed Mustafa does. So,
No, never
you
gonna happen.
you will do great, and more importantly, you fill in key times when a lot of us North American streamers aren't available. So thank you for coming on board. Yes, if you haven't heard, Feckless is joining the Lotro stream team. She will be streaming here on the official Standing Stone Games channel. So welcome aboard. We're glad to have you, and I have no doubt you'll be a tremendous asset.
Oh, thank you. Make me more nervous now.
No, nothing to be nervous about. You're already playing Lotro and you're streaming it. That's pretty much all you have to do here on Lotro Stream. Besides, we're just glad when folks show up and stream. That doesn't happen all the time. In fact, I jokingly wrote on the Lotro Stream Slack chat today that I had bad news that I would be streaming at my usual time tonight. So
I'll miss that.
anyway, so that's what. We've got some folks blowing up here in the chat. Maiden of Rohan is laughing at me, which is good. And Gussie Moose is enjoying Zinger's pick. Yeah, Zinger got me pretty good with that one. He usually does. Whenever I'm his subject, he usually pulls out all the stops. Hello to Gamer Grant. Good to see you, my friend. We've got Dargon in the house. And we're ready to start. So I'm going to run through some more dailies here for Hype Bolt. Shouldn't take too long, and then we're going to probably wander up to Wildermore, where I've already poked my head out and started doing some stuff. So I am glad to see so many folks here. I know it's St. Patrick's Day. A lot of folks probably had other things they wanted to do besides hang out and watch me stream Lotro. But that's okay. I'm going to hang out, I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to have a good time. And I am glad you guys decided to pop in and watch the chaos and mayhem unleash. So we're almost done with the Sutcrofts, and we need to do some stuff for Men of the Entwash Vale. And I think I'm going to do 3 and 2 tonight. So we'll ride for Aoworth, and then pop over to Snowborn. And I want to make sure I get Snowborn done because I can get the Return to Snowborn travel skill. Which will make finishing up the rest of this stuff a little easier. I've been playing Little Ed Mustafa pretty regularly, but I haven't been streaming with him a lot, and particularly not on Fridays. So I thought we'd pop him back into the rotation. This is his equipment gear package I'm showing right now. But he has all the classic cosmetics still equipped. We have the pink tracksuit, augmented with, what do we have? A beer stein as a weapon, and we also have the Mariner's hat and eye patch. I still have the original Sheriff of Tiny Town outfit, conceived by Terry Adwin. It looks like a cowboy hat and duster, combined with a couple of rolling pins. Goblins would be very afraid of that outfit, I would think. And then my cosmetic outfit, I've got a set from Helagrod. This is just a cosmetic set. I have the real deal. The Shadowstalker armor, I think, is 65th level. It's really good stuff on level, but at 87th level, I've kind of outgrown it. But it's still a nice looking combination, and I like how weird the hat is. It's just a weird looking hat. It looks like a kid in, like, pajamas. And it's got a weird little sleeping cap tail coming off the back of it, so I've kind of stuck with it just for fun. But of course the pink tracksuit denotes me as a proud member in standing of the 40 Thieves kinship here on Brandywine. We're all burglars. We're about 95% hobbit burglars. Human burglars are begrudgingly welcomed, although they may be made fun of as being gigantic freaks and mutants by the rest of the hobbits. Last count, we had 76 members. Let's see how we're doing tonight. Since I don't need a bio break, this is how I'm taking up time when I'm riding the Stable Master's horse. 4, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. We're still at 76 members. So there's nothing wrong with that. And the hobbits left us a silver present. The reason I only get silver presents and the reason I'm riding a Stable Master's horse, of course, is I play free to play. I am a premium FTP player. To the best of my knowledge, I've never spent any of my own cash on Lord of the Rings Online. I have gotten gift cards that I've used for Lotro points. I have won Lotro points on raffles and other streamers' channels, but I've never had to pull out my wallet and pay for anything Lotro related with my own cash. And I've got 2 characters at level cap. I've got the entire game world unlocked, most of the skirmishes, lots and lots of bonuses. Now, there's no reason to not pay to play Lotro. If you want to go VIP, it's money well spent. You get 500 extra turbine points a month. You get fast travel, which I would dearly love sometimes. But you know, when you get used to riding the stable master's horses, it's not that big of a deal. And since I do occasionally wander off and do other things like go wreck RC airplanes or maybe spend 60 or 90 days obsessively playing Fallout 4 until I almost drop dead at my own computer, it's good to not have to worry about paying a subscription if I do have to take a break, albeit a short one from Lotro for a time or two. So you can play for free, you do not have to pay. And the game is virtually unlimited. You can do almost anything you want, except really play out in the moors very effectively. If you want to try player versus monster player, best to spend the money. It'll be a good investment. I do go out to the moors once in a great while, but the only character I can play is an orc reaver, and I'm basically just out there to catch freep arrows for the rest of the creeps. So that's kind of my role. But as you might have noticed from Feckless chatting with me here, I do have Discord open. If anybody wants to pop over, I'm going to put up my personal stream. And if you pop over there, you can follow me there. You can also just type !Discord, and it will give you an invite to my Discord channel. So, what have you been working on this week, Feckless? Anything cool?
Me RuneKeeper, I got to 105, so I've been doing a lot of stuff on that, trying to get class traits down. I've been on return, plus it's the end of the week, so end of the week means raiding, 2-2 raiding and stuff like that.
Cool.
So my social kin today, actually they did, they're not very experienced raiders, but they actually managed to do a full tier 1 run of the new raid, and they actually did it around about an hour and a half quicker than they've ever done it before. So I was really, really pleased with them guys today.
Well, it sounds like you've had a pretty full week, and congrats on hitting 105. I just want to take another peek. Make sure I'm caught up on chat here. Is Lotro green? Let chaos rule. Oh, Gussie, if you didn't hear. Go Mariners. U20 not coming out on Monday.
No, there was a problem with the build, so it's they've had to create a new build, so it will come out later in the week.
Okay.
Cordovan did say that yesterday in his stream, that if there was a problem with the build or anything like that, it means it won't be coming out Monday, and that's what happened.
And Cordovan
today.
normally streams at noon on Eastern time on Thursdays, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So there you go. Not only can you catch me mucking about here on Lotro stream, but the community manager from Standing Stone Games himself was here just a mere 33 hours ago. So be sure to tune into that every week. And other than that, I think we're okay, other than not having a Mariners update. So let's wander in and kill some orcs and blow some stuff up with black powder. I have not done this run in a very long time. I just exited the dungeon. Okay, that wasn't cool. That's how long it's been. I went the wrong way inside the dungeon. We'll try this again. I just have to go down the stairs. And I think I must have in-game music turned off because it's really quiet. And we wouldn't want to be missing out on Chance Thomas's wonderful score. It's one of the best parts of Rohan. Almost makes mounted combat worth it to be able to hear his awesome music score. I actually don't dislike mounted combat too much, and I've kind of gotten okay with it over the years. This dude wants to fight me. Another reason I'm kind of anxious to finish up the height bolt dailies is because I'm kind of getting over leveled for the area and it'd be nice to just move on. But I think even if I got height bolt completely rebuilt, I still have plenty of tasks and deeds to do out here. Use a veil. Ooh. Wow. That stun only lands about 1 out of 20 times. I'm always amazed when I throw a pebble and something actually gets stunned. Oh, only the goblins count. I'm killing the Urukai for no reason. That's good to know. Don't be like me, boys and girls. Actually read your request notes. So we want to go after the goblins. So I could be in here all night slaughtering orcs, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, it just won't help me advance the quest. So we're going to go take out this little grunt ninja style here.
There's the Zingle. His ears must have been burning.
There he is. So yeah, now that Zinger's here, I can go ahead and tell the true story. So here's my imitation of myself at the pizza place today. Well, that's interesting. I have 14 notifications on Twitter. I wonder what they could be. God damn it, Zinger! So that was pretty much my reaction. That was my how my day went.
Let me guess, they turned around and said at the pizza place, no, we don't do zingers here, you need KFC for that.
Fortunately, it was fairly empty in the pizza place. I tried to play it off like I just had Tourette's or something so they didn't think I was a freak. They probably bought it. Actually, one of the cool things about the pizza place, Sam and Louie's on 120th and Blondo, they have an all-you-can-eat lunch special for $8.99 with Coke Zero included. And you can pick whatever topping you want. I did one slice pepperoni, one slice sausage, and they actually do sliced meatballs as a pizza topping. So I had one slice with meatballs. That was enough. I decided 3 slices was all I could eat. It's pretty good stuff. Hmm. Okay, I don't know why I can't go into stealth. So begrudgingly, Zinger, I would have to admit again, fine work on your part. I failed to burgle. I'm deeply ashamed. I have burgled a Rittermark Athelas Essence. I am an elite burglar. I failed to burgle. Alright, I have managed to do this next feat once, I think about 10 days ago when I was covering for All Up on his channel. Or actually it was here on Lotro Stream during his time segment. I'm going to attempt to climb the beacon.
Oh, time to put it on full screen.
What brings you to these lands? Will you aid or stall?
And we'll already chalk that up as one fail. Yep. Well, we'll give this the old college try. I don't know if I can make this leap. That's okay, it wasn't that far to fall. One down. Come on, there you go. Wow. Is it possible I'm actually getting worse at this the more I try to do it?
Try not to laugh.
Olip was fondly remembering back when this was the end game content. He used to make a bunch of money climbing this and then summoning people to the top for gold. Used to be a big money maker for captains back in the day. As you can see, I have the place pretty much to myself at the moment. Not a lot of folks out here in the Entwash Vale, but why do things the easy way? I like how the music's building as I climb the tower. That's a nice touch. Ah! That was a bad one to miss. I was almost there. Yep, that was horrible. I'm going to die trapped in this little nook. There we go. Oh, I see somebody running up. Ah, bless it.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, Zin.
Howdy.
Don't be nice to him. I mean, welcome.
Don't worry, I hate me too.
Yeah. I'm sure one of us is going to forgive you a lot faster than the other, though. I have done it. Victory is mine. Perfect. I thought I was going to survive that fall. But the deed is done. Even ignominious defeat cannot take away the glory that was my climb.
I think that's a Miley Cyrus song.
It should be if it isn't.
Oh God, you're going to give Zinger another idea. It'll be sort of like Miley Cyrus doing Wrecking Ball with a picture of Big Ed on it.
Probably not.
No, I know to jump from person to person to avoid too much flame.
I was just gonna say, Zinger does do a pretty good job of rotating it around, so it'll be a little while before I catch any more shade.
I'm staying quiet then.
Well, I'll look forward to see what he comes up with next, because I know it won't be me. When you finally climb the beacon at Aoworth, you should celebrate with a crisp, refreshing, ice-cold Coke Zero. Nothing says victory quite like belching up Coke Zero. Anybody do anything fun for St. Patrick's Day? Eat corned beef and cabbage? Pinch people who forgot to wear green?
Drink Irish whiskey.
I showed up for Big Ed's stream. That's a thing, right?
Yeah, sure. Back Lagore, welcome. Glad to have you with us. Johnny Liz, howdy. Dang it, that scared me. How do you think I felt? I was just sitting there waiting for my pizza.
That just means they like you.
Apparently Tellurian broke Lotro.com.
Yes, he broke it all by himself.
He was probably uploading some of his statistics and it just overloaded the databases. Artima TV, howdy. Hi, Crazy Trick. Here, for those who haven't seen why I'm so furiously angry with Zinger.
It's okay. He can't stay mad at me for long.
I know. Last week we were talking about the 5 pillars of quality Lotro streaming. As the graphic indicates, they are: thou shalt fish, thou shalt craft, thou shalt manage thy inventory, thou shalt eat on camera, and thou shalt do daily task turn-ins. Questing and epic battles and raiding and leveling up, those are all just icing on the cake. Those are really the 5 fundamentals that every Lotro streamer needs to focus on. That's what's really going to set you over the top and help you provide a quality stream for your valued viewers. So.
And without a haircut, in that picture, it'll be thou shalt get to a barber as soon as I can.
It's all good. So thanks for that, Zinger. That was clever and funny.
Yay! You don't want to know what the second stone said.
Yeah, I showed it to Mrs. Mustafa right before I started the stream, and it'll bring you a great deal of pleasure to know, Zinger, that she laughed right in my face. So thanks for that, too.
Yes.
See you, Dargon.
Payback for all the bad cooking jokes.
Well, I think even the NSA has been trying to get pictures of Zinger without much luck, so I don't know if we'll be able to find any there, Maiden. Now we're taking the best kind of quests available. We're taking fishing quests.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
So first things first, we're going to ride down some mounted foes like a boss.
Hey, Kryles.
Kryles, howdy. One down, 15 to go. I always wondered if this might seem more epic if we could actually see what we were fighting out here. I guess I should just go where the crops aren't quite so tall. So if you haven't had a chance to play around with mounted combat and you're afraid that you're missing something, don't worry about that at all. And one to go. There we go. 16 for the win. You did come just in time, Kryles. It's only going to get more and more exciting.
Our mission is dire.
So I know what you're thinking. Big Ed Mustafa, why is it we're forced to waste our time with quests when all we really want to do is fish? Well, the key, kids, is to make sure that you find quests that require you to fish. It's a win-win situation. Someday, if you do all of your daily task turn-ins and you manage your inventory properly, you'll be able to fish like I do with a fishing pole of the Rohirrim. I accidentally drowned my pony.
It happens.
Well, you know. It might seem tragic, but it could lead to exciting new cooking recipes. You just never know.
Now, what is your favorite of the Hippold fishing quest?
Probably this one. It's the most straightforward. Garsfeld Guppy's not bad, other than having to ride over to Garsfeld to do it. Least favorite is the Bloodfish. So that's a really long ride, and then you have to find a goat and kill it, and then you have to jump in the water. It's a lot of work for one fish. I did see Gussie Moose fishing on Sims 4 the other night, so she's starting to catch the fever. Don't doubt it.
Now, that was a trick question. Your answer should have been all of them. Now, what do you feel about the Dol Amroth fishing quest?
There's a couple of those that even I hate. It's like run all up and down this river and find the one magical bubbling pool, and then as soon as you cast into it, it'll disappear and you get to go run up and down the river again. That's one that just pisses me off continuously. So a small fish is worth 1 fillet, a medium worth 3, a large is worth 5, and a huge is worth 10. And I need to get 24 fillets. So right now I have 8. We're about a third of the way done with this deed. My original thoughts on fishing, and has it changed since release? Ooh, a huge fish. There's 10. 5 more. I don't know that my opinion on fishing has evolved a whole lot. I actually think they've done a really nice job of balancing fishing in a sense that it's there if you want to partake, and you certainly don't have to. There's some fun rewards. It's nice that they've integrated fishing into some of the quests along the way, but I mean, nobody can really complain that they make you fish in game. But, you know, if you have a cook, you can take advantage of the game fish and make extra recipes. So, yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with fishing. I mean, if they made it more prominent, I think it would annoy some of the people who hate it, so I don't know that would be appropriate. But I think they've struck a good balance. There's titles, and there's housing trophies, and you can get cooking ingredients. Yeah, if they wanted to spruce it up a little more or add something new, I certainly wouldn't object to that. But I kind of like that it has a kind of a bonus feel to it. It's something in the background that you don't have to do if you don't want to. I think if people felt like they were forced to fish, they would tend to resent it a lot more.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see some kind of like a kind of collection thing added in, so you can kind of keep track and try to catch them all and stuff like that.
Ed's probably got him. He's already put them up on Gussie's wall.
And I had 3 bonus fillets. So we are good to go.
I always expected him to bring out another hobby. I think a lot of people, after they brought fishing out, people were expecting another hobby to come out at some point. They've not done it.
Oh, I didn't even jump on a war steed. think it is safe to say that any type of fishing update would be so far down their priority list at this point, it would probably be immeasurable. Probably not anything in the works for that. And I'll bet if you took a survey, it would probably be 80-20 against versus for fishing updates. And I'll bet it would be 99-1 if you'd asked Guardians. Should we fix Guardian bleeds or improve fishing? We will ride the mighty armored war goat of chaos. Nope, I clicked the wrong steed. Alright, as long as we get something faster than my little teeny tiny hobbit legs, I think that's the main thing. Yeah, hobbies are a little tricky, Kryles, because I think they already do a good job of giving us completely useless things to do. I mean, between hobnanigans and the treasure hunting and all the different festivals and I think that makes me kindred with the Sutcrofts, which means one of these fine vendors over here. We'll try the Miscellany Quartermaster, who, by the way, if you're wondering, what can I get at the Miscellany Quartermaster? You can get the Rohirric fishing rod, because that's a thing.
It just made me think, what if they added a reputation faction for, like, the fishermen or something like that?
Boom, I can now return to Snowbourne.
You can, like, collect fish, turn them in for rep, maybe?
I'd be totally down for that, which should surprise no one. The Rohirric fishing rod is a mere 100 tokens. You can't afford not to buy one. So that was well worth doing. And now I can jump to the Mead Hall of Heightbolt, even though it's just a short ride. And we will rebuild the Sutcrofts neighborhood here in Heightbolt. Now, as annoying as Heightbolt was to do the first time, it did feature dynamic layering for the first time in the game, which was a new technology, where a specific area can be customized for each individual player. So, as you'll observe,
our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? Will you aid the Rohirrim? The Rohirrim have need of your services. Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? The Rohirrim have need of your services. Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? The Rohirrim will need your aid. Our mission is dire. What business have you with the Rohirrim? Will you aid the Horse Lords? What business have you with the Rohirrim? What business have you with the Rohirrim? What brings you to these lands? Will you aid the Horse Lords?
there, that fence finally rebuilt behind me at least.
What brings you to these lands?
See tents where there used to just be burned out crap.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
Suddenly all is glorious and shiny and new.
Rohirrim have need of
All because I caught some fish
Rohirrim have need of
and climbed a beacon.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? Will you aid business have you with the Rohirrim? Will you aid the Horse Lords? Will you aid the Horse Lords? The Rohirrim have need of your services. Will you aid the Rohirrim? What business have you with the Rohirrim? Our mission is dire. The Rohirrim will need your aid. Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? Will you aid the Rohirrim? The Rohirrim have need of your services. The Rohirrim will need your aid. The Rohirrim have need of your services.
Now, for those of you who haven't gotten to Rohan yet and don't pay that much attention to your reputation with the various factions, one of the keys to being able to complete this, ding, look at that shiny new building, is that you need to be kindred with all 4 of the factions in Rohan, or you won't be able to complete rebuilding Heightbolt.
What brings you to these lands? You aid the Horse Lords. What brings you to these lands?
And if you can start out with kindred with most of the factions before you begin the process, it should go fairly quickly.
Our success
One of the reasons I've been working on this for as long as I have is just because I had to get my reputation up to be able to finish some of these areas. So now I've got it down to 1 neighborhood left to go, and I'm already ally with the Entwash Vale, so hopefully that'll just take a couple more runs. Ooh, look at that. Instant grow plants, new fences, new crops planted.
Mission is dire. What brings you to these lands? Will you aid the Horse Lords? What business have you with the Rohirrim? The Rohirrim will need your aid. Will you aid the Rohirrim? Our mission is dire. What business have you with the Rohirrim?
And little by little it starts to fill in the city with all kinds of shiny new stuff based on your accomplishments. Little Ed Mustafa is my 3rd character I've worked on Heightbolt with. Lenorian, my minstrel, will probably be the 4th. She's not quite here yet. But just out of curiosity, Zinger, how many times have you done this stuff? I know it's a lot more than 3.
Well, on some characters I kind of skipped over it.
And understandably so.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
Probably maybe 3 or 4 times. I don't know.
The Rohirrim have need of your services. The Rohirrim will need your aid.
Talarian, any idea how many times you've completed rebuilding Heightbolt?
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
That's going to be a
The
big
Rohirrim
number.
have need of your services. The Rohirrim have need of your services. The Rohirrim will need your aid. The Rohirrim will need your aid. Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? The Rohirrim will need your aid.
The Rohirrim need my aid,
Success
apparently.
depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? Will you aid the Horse Lords? What business have you with the Rohirrim? What business have you with the Rohirrim? Our mission is dire. What business have you with the Rohirrim? Will you aid the Horse Lords? Will you aid the Horse Lords? What business have you with the Rohirrim? Our mission is dire. What brings you to these lands? What business have you with the Rohirrim? Our mission is dire. Will you aid the Rohirrim? The Rohirrim will need your aid. Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? The Rohirrim will need your aid. What brings you to these lands? What business have you with the Rohirrim? What business have you with the Rohirrim? Aid the Horse Lords. The Rohirrim will need your aid. Our mission is dire. The Rohirrim will need your aid. Will you aid the Horse Lords?
So we rebuilt that tower, we rebuilt the wall by the lumber mill, got some tents up in the Entwash Vale neighborhood. Lots of good things happening, but I have to get to Kindred so I can talk to Egmont and get more stuff done. The Heightbolt armor is pretty good stuff for level. If you're at 85. I remember liking the armor set quite a bit. Looks like Edgall might have something else for us.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? Rohirrim have need of your services. Our mission is dire.
Armory inhabitants.
Will you aid us, lords?
Those are important for getting your Forge Master and Relic Master here in Heightbolt.
And also important, even if you don't have any quests to do, you can still turn them into tokens for decorations that have antlers on them.
What brings you to these lands?
That could be important for some folks. Oh, and after I did all that, I have a single token left. And there are resource dungeons to be had. If you go back up here behind the mead hall, it looks like we got all kinds of interesting stuff done. Item needs reforged. Reputation changed to reflect that I'm kindred with the Sutcrofts now. And not that far off with Entwash Vale. So that's exciting. That was worth 20 Lotro points, too. And I completed some deeds. It kind of gives you a checklist as you go through all of the Heightbolt rebuild to show you what you have done and have not done. There's quests back here for scholars, for prospectors, and for, they say woodworkers, but it's really going to be foresters. We'll go take a peek inside the armory. I think I'm still a fair ways away from getting this rebuilt. The building should be about cleared out, but I don't think I'm going to have Relic and Forge Masters yet. That's just Rohirrim. These are just Rohirrim. Actually, this looks fairly complete. I do have a Forge Master. Hooray for me.
Friend of the Rohirrim.
That was timely. And then my Relic Master should be over on this side. So I think when I did this on Nemini the other night, I finished Entwash Vale first. And it wasn't until Setcrofts must help you finish off getting your armory set up. So, this is the Prospector's Dungeon.
Time is short. So is hope.
I don't think they've got anything particularly special over there. But you pick whichever one of the materials quests you want to go on, and then you jump on this horse Gang Finda, and it just basically magically transports you to wherever your resources are. Hey, Deathman. Yeah, we've had some new faces drop by tonight, which is always good to see. And my apologies for derping on this earlier.
Unfortunately, it has fallen under attack, and the miners have been driven out.
Crazy Trick hosted with 4 viewers, so now with 1 viewer. And Frontier Killa, thank you for the host, or for the follow rather. Also, Angel and Blue Jeans has followed. And the best Shakanon is not only followed, but also joined the 40 Thieves. So if you haven't already welcomed the best Shakanon, be sure to do that when you run into him. Kryles has reading homework for this weekend, apparently. Okay, so we're in a deep, dark, scary dungeon. We're going to go stab a bunch of stuff with daggers. So that's what I do. Uncommon ore.
I always got excited when my research dungeon had humanoids in it, because then I was like, yay, I get to burgle everything.
Lots of burgling, yeah. This one's mostly bugs and worms, I'm afraid. Not a lot of burgling to be done here. Let the rigor mark scarn flow freely. It's a good thing. We'll head down. This is mostly just a little circular loop here anyway.
Have you been doing any of the other the bold dailies in the region just to try to get that rep faster?
Not as much. So I've been doing dailies on Nemini and on Galandriel as well. My level cap hunter and champion respectively. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just pop on and run the dailies for all three of them. Been doing some other stuff. I got a Cappy that I rolled up over on Gladden, and I put a couple levels on him the other day.
For the buffkin?
Yeah, not in the kin yet, but it gave me a chance to mail all up Enya some extra fishing trophies on a different server, just so he knows that he'll never be able to escape that. And then right before I logged off the other night, I found some rhubarb, so I picked that and mailed it to him too.
Wow, that's old school.
It is old school. And just enough to make him salty, so...
So yeah, but Deathman's just come in and he doesn't know what the tenets of streaming are. You're gonna have to show him.
Doesn't know the 5 tenets of quality Lotro streaming?
It's, you know, they're on about, you know, the answers to life and, you know, the universe and everything, you know, but, you know, tenets of streaming.
And again, we have my good friend Zinger to thank for this. Thank you, Zinger. You're hilarious and stuff. And I don't want you murdered slowly. But, thanks to Zinger, we now know that the 5 tenets of quality Lotro streaming are: thou shalt fish, thou shalt craft. It's really small on my screen. In no particular order, you also have to do your daily task turn-ins. You have to eat on camera, and you should do lots of inventory management. If you do those 5 things, viewers will be riveted to your Lotro stream, and you will add followers in droves. You'll get lots and lots of views, and people will adore you. So, there you go, the 5 tenets of quality Lotro streaming. So, thank you for that infographic, Zinger.
And you'll get lots of women and or men.
Mrs. Mustafa would disagree with that, but that's okay. I told Mrs. Mustafa last night that I was going to make her glad she was born a woman. She told me that if I tried it, she'd make me wish I'd been born a woman. So we kind of dropped the subject after that.
And we've got no spam, a drink all over my keyboard.
Okay, now if you ever come to this resource dungeon, whatever you do, don't jump down in that hole. Is that a cave claw or a giant grodbog? It looks like a giant cave claw.
Yeah, first time I saw it, I was hoping like eventually we get to fight it.
The great deep claw below. Once upon a time, there was a great deep claw. Oh, Shelt snort on stream. It happens to a lot of folks, Feckless. Don't worry about it. If you snort 20 times a night on your stream, you'll be known as the second most prolific snorter on the Lotro Steam team. Stream team.
Oh, I don't know. It would take a lot to beat Maiden and even Gussie.
Yeah, they both snort quite a
Gussie
bit.
yesterday was snorting like a good one.
So, and we had talked about it earlier. Feckless once again is joining the Lotro stream team, so we're excited to have her on board and looking forward to watching her. And did I hear rumors that you might have a webcam on order?
Yes, hopefully I should have it all sorted for Tuesday.
Yay!
It's probably why I'm so nervous. Yeah, and I'm definitely nervous now that Zinger's here, because you can guarantee, it'd be screen capture, from the cam, and he'll be making some sort of picture up.
I don't have the slightest idea what you're talking about.
No, of course not.
Oh, I just need to collect uncommon ore. Okay, I can quit picking on the bugs that aren't aggroing me.
I could just imagine the title of something that you do, rookie's first night at whatever.
Oh, I never get someone on their first night. I'll give you a couple spins.
Oh, cheers, love. No, Death. I couldn't go that low.
Hi, the Cookie Mama. It goes good. How have you been tonight?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me, Maiden, honestly. People can take the mick out of me. I'm one of these where I'll give as good as I get. So, that sort of thing don't bother me.
Now, do webcams have the capability to stay on for 48 hours straight?
Yeah, the way Feckless
Um,
streams, she might burn out her webcams.
yeah, I've not done 48 hours yet.
You might have to
Yet being the operative word.
check and see if you can find like a water-cooled webcam or something that might last longer for you.
Well, the thing is, as far as because of the time of day that I'll be streaming, it's 9 o'clock at night for me here, and you know I'm one of these people. I sit here with the lights off. You know, I don't do lights on and stuff like that. So I should have ordered one of them webcams. You can get like a little spotlight on the webcam. I should have got myself one of them, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm just gonna have to. When it comes to lighting, I'm going to have to rely on the monitors that I've got around me, because I do have 4 of them.
Yeah, you won't have any problems with lighting then.
Get the night vision going when you're playing Layers of Fear.
Yeah.
Cookie Mama's getting ready for the big trip. That's very exciting.
Oh, anywhere nice, Cookie?
We've got all the uncommon ore, and I think the boss is right around the corner here. Mine worm.
Cookie, I'm sorry you missed Ed's big trip earlier when he fell off the hit bulb tower. Or jumped off, I should say.
That was an Aelworth. I climbed the beacon and then jumped off of it and jumped from too high and splatted.
It was a nice trip.
It's a hive queen.
It's actually funny. Cookie says about going away, and during the raiding this evening, we had a guy in the kin that was in the raid, and he stayed there right up until we actually got boss 6 done. So he was there throughout. We got to the end of the raid, searched the chest, and he was like, "Sorry guys, I gotta go because I'm already late for my flight." So he actually stayed to raid before he went off to catch his flight to go away. I mean, now that's commitment for you. It's actually quite fun because no one knew that he was going away either.
He hadn't said anything. He just stuck around on the raid until...
Yeah, and it was at the end of the raid where he said that he was actually, you know, off on holiday and he was actually now running late.
That's pretty classic. I had to take a business trip one time, a short flight down to Kansas City, and I don't know, I got up in plenty of time, but it was just one of those days where everything happened slowly, and I got to the airport later than expected. There must have been like a wreck on the interstate or something, and I get to the airport and I get checked in, and I get to the gate just barely in time. And one of the guys I work with was on the flight. We were traveling together, and I just barely make it to the plane. And I mean, it's where the gate attendants are basically scolding me and telling me I'm lucky they're going to let me on the flight. And as I walk on the plane, I look over and my coworker's sitting there going, "Oh, you're lucky. You just barely made it." And I just jokingly said, not thinking about it, I go, "Oh, it's okay. I called ahead and told him to hold the plane for me." And a bunch of people on the flight looked at me like, "Well, you jackass, now I'm going to be late because you made him hold the plane for you." It's like, no, that was a joke. I'm not really that important. But you can't even joke about stuff if you're late for a flight. People just get all wound up. It's high stress.
I think one of the best flights I ever had was when I came back from Florida. When I came back to the UK from Florida, and it was like a Boeing 737 or whatever it was, and out of the whole plane, I think it must have been half empty, and you had, because it was a nighttime flight, early hours in the morning sort of thing. You just had people that, you buy like a window ticket, and when you take off, you have to take your seats in the proper seats that you was designated when you actually buy your tickets and things like that, so you take your seat place. But once you're actually up in the air and everything like that, you can sit wherever you want almost. So you got people that just taking up all 3 or 4 seats along the middle aisles just to lie down, so it's like a bed. So there was a person next to me and I had a window seat, so there was like two seats,
Mm-hmm.
and I just laid across these 2 seats, throughout the whole flight home. It was awesome. That's how empty the plane was.
Nice.
Good afternoon, evening, and morning.
Oh, hey, Hansi.
Hi, Hansi.
Hey, buddy.
What's happening, people?
We're just running some quests and discussing the 5 tenets of quality Lotro streaming.
I see that. Have you been abiding to those rules?
Always, always. We've done plenty of inventory management. We've done some fishing. I've been drinking plenty of Coke Zero on stream. Mrs. Mustafa's temporarily passed out at the moment, so I'm sure snacks will be coming when I get a beverage refill. I've discovered that she's a lot less mean if I let her reawaken on her own, however, so we won't be too quick about bothering her just yet.
Now, is she holding the phone in the correct position?
No, it's kind of interesting. She's just sort of passed out flat on her back, but for some reason it doesn't bother her that the overhead light's on. She went out and shot some high school freshman baseball pictures tonight. So, that's a thing. Oop, somebody else has a quest ring above their head.
She's cheating on the basketball team with the baseball team now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think high school basketball is completely over with, so she has to find something else to amuse herself with.
I'm sorry, hoop ball and bat ball, I guess.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Sports ball stuff is complicated, Zinger. You have to work at keeping track of it. Library inhabitants. I guess I didn't recall there being a library.
The library is the scholar bit.
That makes sense. Well, I caught a couple more Oscar-nominated movies this week. Florence Foster Jenkins, terrific film, lot of fun, sad, nostalgic, well worth the watch. Enjoyed it quite a bit.
Gussie's Hunsy. I thought she was going to be streaming. Why aren't you streaming tonight, Gussie? Isn't it weekday still? I'm not that far in the future, am I?
Nope. It is St. Patrick's Day here in the States, though, so lots of folks
Yeah,
are
we had
full
that
of,
yesterday.
yeah, Irish whiskey and green beer.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're still in 2017 over here.
We don't have flying
to-
cars here yet, Lindsay.
You have to admit, though, when Orlap said to me, what's the Super Bowl score going to be? And I said to him, I said, I can't tell you the score, but let me tell you, it's probably one of the best games ever. That was a pretty good guess.
That was a pretty good guess, yeah.
Hello, Ninth Phone.
Ninth Pawn, hello. It was a good movie, Maiden. And then the other Oscar nominee I saw recently was Hell or High Water, which I wasn't all that keen on at first, but I had to admit it was more enjoyable than I had originally anticipated. So, great dialogue, interesting characters, good story. It had an authentic feel to it you don't usually get from that type of movie.
Now, have you watched Captain Fantastic yet?
Not yet. It's in the queue.
Because Gussie is eagerly awaiting your review on that.
Well, if I don't like Captain Fantastic, I probably won't say anything about it at all. But I'm sure it's going to be a terrific movie, so I'm looking forward to that. I've liked just about everything I've seen Vigo in.
I'm waiting for the new Wonder Woman film.
Yeah, it looks good. I know I saw a trailer for that recently.
Anybody caught Iron Fist on Netflix yet?
No, I've seen that. That looks awesome.
I enjoyed Luke Cage quite a bit, so... They keep coming out with these season 1s, and it's like, okay, where's season 2 of Jessica Jones? Where's season 3 of Daredevil? They've done a really good job with the properties, but it would be nice if they'd come out with the seasons a little more quickly.
Yeah, and I don't. Have you ever seen that program called? Oh, Christ! The name was on the tip of my tongue. Then just forgotten it. iZombie.
I have seen iZombie and seen previews for iZombie. I haven't actually watched it.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, there's been 2 seasons of it, and the 2 seasons within the same year, but then it's been like 6-7 months and nothing.
Is that like the follow-up to iCarly?
Yes. After iCarly gets bitten by a zombie, it becomes iZombie.
I think she's just absolutely brilliant, like, she's awesome.
That looks like a fun show.
And it's funny as well. It's ever so funny.
This is really all just filler until the Emoji Movie comes out.
AKA Maiden Wears a Poop Hat.
Yes, that is the subtitle.
I think we're all looking forward to that.
Even though I love this Berg tracksuit, I just realised my arse does look big in it.
I was excited to see how prominently Sauron was featured in the Batman Lego movie. I just hope Tolkien doesn't screw up the novelized adaptation like he did with the Hobbit movie. The Hobbit was such a brilliant series of films, I don't know why Tolkien didn't follow the script closer when he wrote the book.
Agreed.
They were all awful.
I know, honey. Mrs. Mustafa just woke up and instinctively started trashing Tolkien. That's why you're not allowed on the camera.
I thought she said waffle.
Awful.
I was going to say share, please. I don't have that quest.
What surprised me, I mean, with what Deathman says about the girl being in New Zealand, it surprises me, but there are so many British people in that program as well.
Well, one of the things that frustrates Americans is how many British actors take plum roles here in American TV and movies. And it's because Americans can't act. Americans all want to be movie stars, and Brits just want to be actors and actresses.
Well, the thing is as well, it surprises me, but a lot of British as well, they get cast as the bad person or the evil person and stuff like that.
Well, it's like George Clooney just basically plays George Clooney in all of his movies. Clint Eastwood just basically plays Clint Eastwood in all of his movies. They have a certain type for leading men, and they never cast against type. It's not like they're ever going to cast George Clooney as the shy but affable transvestite school teacher.
That would be funny. Wonder how many coffees he'd sell after that.
No, what they've got, what's it, Dustin Hoffman for that.
Dustin Hoffman was an actor, yeah. They managed to put him in a few different roles.
But the thing is, there's probably a lot of people that don't even know what I'm on about when I say that.
Oh, no. Tootsie was regarded, the American Film Institute ranked Tootsie as, I think, number 84 on the 100 greatest movies ever made. So that movie got a lot of props. I suppose if you're a millennial, you probably never saw Tootsie.
Hey, even I own a copy of Tootsie on VHS.
Well, it's like Deathman mentions Sean Connery, you know, and he always plays like a good guy or something like that. But you take Sean Bean, for instance. Now, Sean Bean plays the villain in so many programs and films. The fact he always ends up dead, you know, that's another thing.
Maybe he shouldn't go questing with Maiden.
Kryles
I'm
is
sorry,
amazed.
that was rude, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, time out. Maiden, time out.
Why would you
I
remember
end
that
up
it
in
was number
everybody's
84?
Discord and Twitch corners.
You've not been in the corner in mine yet. The operative word being yet.
Yeah, I'll get there. Just get a nice comfy chair and I'll park my butt there at some stage.
Comfy chair in a bar.
And Hot Pockets.
Actually, yeah, Def, you're right there about Sharp. Where he, no, he does get a couple of scratches. There was one where he gets caught, and then they sort of beat him a little bit.
What was the movie he did for Hitchcock back in the day? Marnie and Me? No, that's not it. I thought it was Marley or Marnie or... He's in love with a girl who's a crook or... I don't remember the details. That was pretty early in his career. Connery getting cast as James Bond so early in his career kind of typecast him for life.
Yeah. And to be honest, there's a few Bond people that have said the same.
And you're right, call Marnie.
Okay.
It was Alfred Hitchcock's suspenseful sex mystery.
Best Hitchcock film ever, though, is The Birds.
I think we were talking one time about like the hottest women who ever lived, and I had mentioned Grace Kelly, and specifically Rear Window.
No, Kate Beckinsale all the way.
She's pretty attractive.
But then again, I love the Underworld films. I'm just a massive Kate Beckinsale fan. You know, Underworld. I mean, Pearl Harbor as well. I think she played a really good part in Pearl Harbor.
Trey and Matt did such a good job of lampooning Pearl Harbor and Team America World Police that it's hard to take the movie seriously now. I will give that movie props. Team America World Police, best puppet movie ever made. Going away, unquestionable. I'm going to take a little breather before I go get my last... I guess I'm not taking a breather. I was hoping to do some regenerating here, but this guy wants to pick a fight.
That movie certainly has some exotic scenes.
Well, I have one of the original DVDs. There's a erotic love scene in the middle of the movie between two of the puppets. And there's actually a golden shower and a Cleveland steamer as part of the original love scene. And I have that copy of the DVD, and apparently that part was cut from later editions. So.
Did you ever watch Basketball?
Yes.
Matt Trey, mate.
Yeah.
I missed myself laughing. That was so funny.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Just wonder when they made the first couple of episodes of South Park, whether they thought they'd get as good as they did.
I doubt they had any illusions of grandeur at first, but the first time I saw the pilot, I was hopelessly hooked. Cartman Gets an Anal Probe was so brilliant that I locked onto it, and I was like, oh my god, they made a cartoon where third graders talk like actual third graders. I must see more.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I love Cartman. He's the best.
There's a lot to like all the way around.
I think Evil Twin might vote for Butters.
Butters is pretty awesome. Oh, the tap dance competition where everything goes horribly wrong and Butters kills all those people? I mean, I'm a pretty sick, twisted puppy, but I don't think I'd ever come up with that as a plot line. That's a level of brilliance I could only dream to aspire to.
That was the one with the dance troupe, and they had like the whole bunch of people, including like a DDR kid and a.
Yes.
Yes, good episode.
You know, there's a lot of disagreement about the show. A lot of people say that it's life-changing. Others completely disagree and say that it's only life-affirming. But at least we can all agree that it's magnificent and that we all enjoy it.
Howdy ho!
I actually made that a holiday tradition for a number of years. We would travel down to my sister's in Wichita, and I would make my entire family gather, mom, dad, my sisters, my brother-in-law, my nephew, and we'd gather around the TV and watch the Mr. Hanky episodes of South Park every Christmas Eve.
Well, that's just some good, family fun going on right
Exactly.
there.
It was important for us to bond like that. And for those of you who want to get started in fishing, there is a hobby master here in Wildemore. So if you're saying to yourself, Big Ed Mustafa, I'm 86th level, I can't start fishing now. Yes, yes you can. Actually, one of the new guys on my team at work is named Kyle, and I have a hard time going, Gosh, Kyle, you sure do smell all nice and flowery. He'd probably get it, but I wouldn't want to get reported to HR for hitting on him, so I usually just let it go. Plus, the truth is, I don't really know that he smells all nice and flowery. I don't spend a lot of time sniffing him.
As the old saying goes, what you say and what you do are two entirely different things.
Also true.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
For those of you keeping score at home, we've completed fishing. We're in the throes of inventory management at the moment.
Two down, three to go.
Yep.
Everyone knows it's Butters. That's me. That's awesome.
It's funny. You sing that advert, and it just reminds me of Sandra Bullock in Judge Dredd when she's singing that song. Oh God, which one was it?
Are you guys keeping score? Do you know which part of the stream this is? We're crafting.
Quick, Hansi, open up a stream.
Oh, what? Is he streaming?
Nobody's watching.
Well, Thou Shalt Craft is number 2.
Just got daily crafts and eating to go.
It's a Mishi bug.
Well, the daily eating is entirely dependent on your off-stream co-streamer bringing you food.
My support team here at Mustafa HQ, Mustafa World Headquarters. She has failed to bring cookies, but she did bring me Diet Mountain Dew, so she must have thought I looked a little peaked. We are what we call dangerously low on Coke Zero at the moment. I think I have one bottle left in the fridge, so if I wake up with the shakes in the middle of the night, she wanted to make sure we had one on hand.
That or she failed to drink the Coke or the Diet Mountain Dew herself, and now it's all flat.
That's probably not too far from the truth.
Or backwash.
Surely Mountain Dew is one of them drinks. It doesn't matter whether it's fizzy or flat. It should still taste pretty decent. But the only reason I say that is we don't get Mountain Dew over here. You know, we get things like Fanta or something like that, like an orange flavoured fizzy drink. But even if it goes flat, it can still taste pretty decent.
Yeah, I always figure pretty much anything carbonated once loses it, kind of loses its flair.
Actually, the other day when I went to pick my car up, I stopped off at the gas station. I don't know if you saw my Twitter picture, Ed, but I bought a Coke Zero, took a photo, put it on my Twitter. Like, that'll make you proud of me.
Oh, I saw you referenced Coke Zero, and I went looking for it and couldn't pull up the picture, so...
Yeah, I don't know, I stuffed something up. Instead of putting the @ sign, I put a hashtag sign. So what's that mean? Hashtag, you know, I'm not up to date with all this stuff. I've got to learn all this stuff.
You can do a search for terms. Like, a lot of times if I put out a tweet that Bloodborne is streaming, I'll put hashtag manpretty at the end of it. Or I'll do hashtag Lotro for most of the Lotro-related tweets. So if somebody just goes looking for hashtag Lotro, they'll find some of my tweets.
So, in Hansi's case, if anyone actually does a hashtag, it should be, I screwed up, I'm going to sit in the corner.
I'm already in the corner. Any more corner, I'm going to end up, like, moulding myself with the wall.
Get in the corner's corner.
And hello to
That's
Mishi
like
Bug,
inside
and
the wall.
rest assured that I was drinking Coke Zero right up until I ran out of Coke Zero. So, we have drank crisp, refreshing Coke Zero on camera tonight. All part of providing a quality stream. So let's go back to the infographic and see how we're doing. Again, the 5 tenets of quality Lotro streaming. Thou shalt fish. Thou shalt craft. We've gotten both of those done. We even worked fishing into a quest line tonight. Inventory management all over it. So I've drank on camera. I haven't eaten on camera. And I need to do some task turn-ins. But overall, I would say we're off to a pretty good start.
And you get bonus points if you have thou shalt have your spouse's hand waved in front of the camera.
We'll see. When she woke up, I kind of waved the empty Coke Zero bottle at her. She brought me the Diet Dew, but I don't think she was real impressed with that maneuver, so that might have shot myself in the foot with that. We'll have to see how it goes. She can be quite vengeful and vindictive. If I were married to me, I'd be the same way. I still have no idea what she was thinking when she agreed to this arrangement, but God bless her for having poor judgment is all I can say.
I just hope you wake up in the morning. You need your sleep yet.
Yeah, I'm married. I'm okay either way. It's like I can't watch disaster movies anymore because it's like a comet's going to hit the Earth. That really doesn't sound all that bad to me.
Yeah, us girls going to have a word for race insurance premium, and then do it.
Exactly. All right, well, we've turned some skarn into ingots. I don't know that I've got a whole lot to do with the ingots just yet. It would be nice to make myself an 85th legendary dagger. I'm missing symbols, so I was hoping that tier 4 tome that I found for crafting would be useful for something. It doesn't appear to be. I think I can make a crafted relic with it is what those are good for. Maybe we'll do that. We'll make some crafted relics. So I just hate the idea of feeling like I didn't actually craft anything. I think I have
You need a symbol.
a couple of those. For the weapons, yes. To make the relics, no.
Let me have a look to see if I've got one.
Oh, I just need to motivate myself to go do something where I can actually earn. I've got a worn symbol, but that's level 75. Besides, when I say that I want to craft a second or first stage legendary, it's kind of in the same way that I kind of want to have tacos for lunch one day next week. It'll be nice if it happens, but it's not like my world's going to crumble if it doesn't. So, don't go too far out of your way looking for symbols.
I'm in Dol-Amroth anyway.
So let's go back to Weaponsmith. Now, one thing that I do need on Brandywine that hopefully somebody out there might have, thin Ilex boards. My woodworking is stalled because I just...
You need?
600 XP, so it's going to be probably, what, 1180 for Master. I'm going to guess 300 to 360 maybe.
Let me have a check.
I might actually have the wood. I just need a forester to carve them. I have to check my inventory and see. Thought I was stashing the logs though.
Well, you need someone to craft them into the
Yeah.
boards.
Yeah, I don't have forestry. I just have woodworker.
All right, just flick them over. I'll do them now.
Okay, well I don't know that I have that many. Let's see what I do have.
No, we'll have a look and see what I got.
Okay.
Welcome and well met, my friend.
Oh, and if you need any fishing trophies, Hunzi, please let me know. I will be happy.
I've got plenty.
I will be happy to trade you crafting materials for fishing trophies.
Yeah. Or if
Yeah,
if you want a fish plaque put on the wall. Actually, if you want a fish plaque, just go to Gussie's house. She's got plenty on her wall.
You can never have too many. Okay, it looks like I have
Our house is full of them.
logs of birch wood, but I don't actually have any logs of ilex wood on me. I may have sent them off and somebody already carved up all I have. I'll double check my personal chest.
That's all right. Assuming I've got.
Oh, no, I do have them there. I got 23 logs. Still, if I send them to you, that opens up an inventory slot. That counts as extra inventory management. Of course, I said that and then left them in my vault and didn't pull them out.
Welcome, my
Don't be
friend.
like me, kids. Pay attention to what you're doing. 10 birch boards.
Looks like you can get 87 thin ilex boards on the AH for 20 gold.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about the wood is it doesn't sell for anywhere near the same amount that Skarn does. Who do you want me to send this stuff to, Hunzi?
Hunzien or Zien, as you guys say it. So it will be
Hunzien?
Hunzien. Yeah.
Or is it Hunzedian?
No, I've got 2 level 100 symbol of selling pros.
Yeah, and I think somebody else had given me some higher level symbols too. I think I've got some 95s and 100s, just nothing at 85. And I was short on marks and medallions to get them from the skirmish camp. So it's just something I need to work on. I mean, it's not like I'm not having any trouble killing anything. It's one of those things that it's like, oh, it'd be nice to upgrade my dagger. So that'll point me in the direction of something to go do.
Yeah. I've got lots of first aid stuff on my my main burglar, but you don't have a character on Evernight, so.
I do have a character on Evernight. It's a
You
low-level
do?
warden, yeah.
In that case, then you'll have to come on Tuesday afternoons when I do my my streaming.
That is my dream. I want to get a high-end gaming rig and hide it somewhere at the data center. So when they're all like, hey, we need somebody to escort these vendors onto the raised floor, I can be like, I'm busy. I'm going raiding with Feklas. They'll have to just find their own way there. And I can disappear. That would be awesome.
Yeah, because I was actually talking with Adeleth, and she was saying how she used to do more or less what I want to do.
Mhm.
She used to do it on like a Wednesday, and you know, because she's now moved to Germany, it's harder for her to do it. So, you know, but she was sort of like giving me some tips on how to try and approach it when it comes to people from the stream and stuff like that. So fingers crossed. Hopefully, I'll be sort of carrying on more or less what Adeleth used to do in the past when it comes to the raiding side of things.
Well, it's such a great time slot, too, because you're going to pick up a lot of North American and EU viewers at the same time, and gives you a good opportunity for a nice big audience, and you should have fun with that.
Yeah, I'll get a lot of Americans that just finished work and stuff like that, getting home to have an hour before dinner and stuff like that, hopefully.
Good evening, Gravity.
Gravity, howdy.
Alright, there's a start. I'll send some more once I crunch these ones down.
Thanks.
At least that way you can entertain everybody with the crafting side of the stream.
And I now have everything I need to make a flawless Anuminous Scepter. It's kind of funny that they've done instant turn-in for all kinds of rep items and things, but you still have to go to your guild master to be able to turn in your symbol crafted stuff. And I've been told, I don't know if anybody else is actually doing this, but one of the purposes of continuing to make these crafted relic items is if you melt them down with the relic master, apparently they're good for lots and lots of shards. So you can burn them down to allow yourself to make other stuff. So that's a thing. So we have definitely crafted, and that is super exciting. Thanks, Hunzi.
You're welcome anytime.
Well, I've just noticed we've now got 7 of us that are above level 85 in the Birkin. So it must be nearly time to start doing some instances with 6 burglars.
Absolutely.
That could be interesting.
Isn't one?
Six
Is your
bird-
Berg 105 on Brandy? Sorry, Zingle.
Yeah, mine is. Mine's 105.
Okay.
I do not have enough room. Alright, well I need to be less of a derp and actually put my ingots away now that I'm done crafting metal.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
Hobbitberg is the best class in the game, for those that don't know.
They're a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And they're really cute.
I got a Hobbit minstrel.
Also adorable, but annoying because of the shouting.
I don't know whether she's adorable.
They don't shout as much as a Guardian. My Hobbit Guardian can shout all night long.
Yeah.
Now this is a PG-13 stream. You should probably keep those details to yourself.
Well, Evil didn't mind last night, and nor did Gussie. Gussie liked my Hobbit Guardian shouting last night.
That I don't
I
doubt
would
at
have
all.
enjoyed that too. If I had stayed connected.
Yes, you missed it, didn't you? Oh my god.
I'm so embarrassed. First time I get to run in a group and
We're going to do it again. We did say last night, you know, it will be done again quite a bit. So,
it was 14 hours it was down for till they repaired the line.
it was good. It was a really, really good run. And even Gussie went AFK, so there was like... We did replace you in the end. I can't remember who it was that came in. I
Probably someone
think it
from
was a runekeeper. It was a runekeeper. So, and even Gussie went AFK. When we went on to the very final boss, Gussie went AFK and she went on follow. So we went and did the final boss with her on follow.
Yeah, the only thing is I haven't got that warden set up in Redline, so it's, yeah, I haven't done much with Redline on that, so it was a bit difficult.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get a red line, Lovey, because, you know, I know Guardians, you know, we've got red line of our own, but we know that red line are broken because of the bleeds. And to be honest, it's, you know, most Guardians, you know, especially you know, the low level sort of stuff, you know, Guardians can't do a lot unless they're tanking. They really, really can't.
Yeah, see, that warden of mine was built specifically just to do blue line. All the gears blue line based, all the weapons and that's blue line based.
See, now the thing is, and this is what I don't get when certain classes were made. I mean, we all know burglars. I mean, you know, burglars are made to either do DPS or back in the day, they were actually a CC class, and that's a good thing about the new raid. They've really brought back in, a bug to do CC, which is why so many people are having to use Yellow Line when it comes to the level 105 raid. Now, when it comes to Guardians, a Guardian was a tank. They were built for tanking. When the game first came out, they didn't have red lines and stuff like that. A Guardian was a tank. A Minstrel was a Minstrel. A Minstrel did healing. You didn't have war speech and stuff like that. So you had your healing and everything like that, and then you had to try and kill things from your healing stance. And then Wardens come in. Now, I think Wardens were actually built initially to be an off tank. They took the place of what the Champion did, right? Because the Champion would use, pre-Moria, the Champion used to be the off tank, and then they created the Warden, which is a medium armor tanking class, but they're not as strong as a as a Guardian, but they did overpower them and they were better than Guardians, but they've managed to sort of like dumb them down and stuff like that. And this is the thing, I love looking at sort of like the numbers and stuff like that, so they did dumb them really down, so that Guardians are back up above Wardens, so people are actually using the Guardians for tanking and they're using the Wardens for the off tanking. And I think that's what the job of a Warden should be, is an off tank.
They're kind of a jack of all trades. You can fit the Warden into a number of different roles. They're pretty versatile, aren't they?
They are, but, if anyone played pre-Moria, I think they would actually understand what I mean, how the Champion was the off tank. The captains never really played off tanking. You'd go into the Balrog, you'd have the Guardian on the Balrog, and then the Champion would play the off tank, and he would, the Champion would then tank the Everseer. And then all the other classes would actually beat on the Everseer and take out the ads and everything like that, and then they would actually go back into the Balrog room after that was done. And even on the earlier bosses, you had your one tank that would tank one of like the first two bosses. You'd have your main Guardian tank that boss, and then you'd have a champ as an off tank that would tank some of the mobs, and then you would also have maybe a secondary tank or something like that to help out, or to take out the certain mobs. And you don't get that now. And I feel that when they brought out Moria and this new, at the end of the day, it was a new class of the Warden, and then you had the Runekeeper. You had captains doing off healing, so the Runekeeper was brought in to be the new off healer, and the Warden was brought in to be the new off tank, and that just didn't happen. It ended up turning out that the Warden was actually tanking things that the Guardian should have been doing, and then because of the way the Warden worked with the aggro leeching, they were leeching all of the aggro off of the Guardian, so the Guardian couldn't even tank. It didn't even matter if you was doing your challenge and your fray the edge and stuff like that, because as soon as you did it and shot straight to the top of the aggro list, the Warden would then leech that off you. So it just defeated the whole objective of having a Guardian there.
All excellent points. Mort, we were just discussing the 5 pillars of quality Lotro streaming here on Twitch. And as you saw from Zinger's infographic, they include fishing, crafting, eating on camera, inventory management, and of course task turn-ins. So we're making darn sure that little Ed Mustafa gets all 5 pillars accomplished, because we want to deliver a quality stream to the viewers here on Lotro Stream. And we thank you for watching. And you can catch Mort here on Tuesdays He streams Tuesday evenings, I want to say 7 o'clock.
Straight after me.
Yeah, there you go. And you can also catch Mort on the Lotro Players Academy podcast. If you caught the streaming text at the top of the screen, you can go to lotroplayers.com to find Mort's podcast, as well as Lotro Players News. And you can also check out Lotro Reporter. Also find podcasters, and you'll find links to different articles and news items and player fan fiction and all kinds of great stuff. So if you're stuck somewhere where you can't play Lotro but you got internet access, you can listen to podcasts about Lotro, you can read about Lotro, and check out all kinds of stuff that's out there in the Lotro community. So be sure to give Mort and friends a listen when you get the chance. I try to catch every podcast. They had a really good one about Champions a couple weeks ago, and looking forward to some more new releases from Lotro Players Academy.
There's another stash I've just emailed to you.
Thanks. I know everybody viewing is highly grateful for that. Everybody's been sitting there going, man, I wish Hunzi would send Ed some more wood so we can watch him craft some more. That's awesome. Don't worry, I am what's known here on Twitch as a variety streamer, which means that I'm going to stream both fishing and crafting. There will be a tremendous amount of variety tonight. And I've made Supreme Woodworker. All thanks to my pal Hunzi.
If there were fishing in Doom, maybe you'll go back to playing that too.
Yeah, I really enjoy Doom. That's one of the problems with the MMOs, though. It's like whenever I hop on and I think, what do I want to play today? It's like, I need to make sure that all of my sell orders are still working for me in EVE Online, and I got to go run my dailies on Lotro, and it just kind of, you feel like you don't have time for other games. But I think we have ground up enough wood. My exact message to Hunzi, I don't know if he caught it or not, was, Hunzi, thanks for giving me wood. That's a true buddy.
Very welcome.
Yes.
Bow, Chica, Wawa.
It is after dark after
Welcome,
all.
my friend.
I'm just trying to keep an eye out for Mort. Because he's just... Actually, what's your Discord link? Can you put it into Lotto Stream? So Mort can join us?
Yeah, I thought Mort had it, but that's okay. Let me pop over to my stream and see what it is.
Oh, hang on. I've just sent you an invite, Mort. Hopefully you might have got it.
There you go. Okay, we have definitely crafted. So we're happy about that. Dun dun dun. Hopefully I got something to turn in. Let's see what we got.
Hey, Mort.
Ah, there we go.
Hey, Mort. And it's slimy filth for the win.
Hey, Dork.
Ripped cloaks. Yeah, when's cool Kyle gonna come and call us all nerds? So remember, boys and girls, do your task turn-ins every single day. Only good things can come from them. You get experience points, you get rep, you get item experience points, you can get steed experience, which is a thing. And most importantly, in my case, it helps you get crap out of your packs, so you can make room for more crap.
And see the pillar of inventory management is something that, in my personal opinion, feels like you're lacking. You're slacking on it. Really, looking at your inventory, you are slacking.
It's getting pretty close to maximum density. I'm not going to argue that point. One of the problems with playing Little Ed is that instead of passing all of the stuff off to alts, I generally wait till I'm done playing and then pop to the kin house and try to load up the kin chest with goodies for all of the other 40 thieves. It's ironic that for a burglar kinship to survive, we have to be good communists. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need.
Yeah, because particularly my burglar, he sucks at stealing things, so there's that.
That tends to run kind of streaky. You just have to keep at it, and you'll get 6 or 7 fails in a row, and then you'll get 3 or 4 successes in a row.
Yeah, but see, the problem is, it typically only happens when Olip is around. That's the weird part.
He's your good luck charm?
No, he's the opposite of a good luck charm.
Okay.
It can't be any worse than Ed opening loot boxes.
Nothing's worse than Ed opening loot boxes.
Oh, I've just realised Mishy Bug's not been made a member. He's still as a recruit.
Oh, we can certainly upgrade that. My apologies. Page 4. I'm not showing any recruits. Everybody.
I took care of it.
Okay, I was going to say our lowest ranked member is a kinsman. And that would be our benchmark, Nelab. Nelab created a burglar on the day we created the kinship and played it up to level 5 and then promptly never logged in again. So it's been 284 days since Nelab has graced Brandywine with his presence.
Hashtag called out.
I don't remember who Nelab is, so I guess it's not that big of a deal.
You could check the note. They actually put a note in there?
I doubt it. In fact, somebody told me that I think it's somewhere on. I think it was Zinger who mentioned on Arkenstone one of my characters is labeled as being evil twins. I don't know how that would
that's
happen.
your burg on here.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
It's Little Ed Mustafa on here. It's that's what I told you a couple of weeks back, and you've still got your player note as evil twin.
No idea how that happened or got set up that way.
It really looks like you attempted to label him as evil twin, and in fact labeled yourself as evil twin.
That could be. There's that better?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, you even had all the numbers and punctuation in there. It was very professional.
I'm not
don't
a
praise
smart
him
man.
too much.
Yeah.
Don't praise him too much. You give him too much praise, and his wife hears it. Oh God.
Praise she'll accept. The one phrase you never want to say is "You're right, Ed." You're right about that, Ed. If she hears that, it just drives her into an insane fury. She will not accept that.
In that case, I'm changing my player note to evil twin.
It's a good idea.
I think we should all do it.
Warband, Rhythm Downs, Family History.
So we could actually do it like you got evil twin, evil triplet, evil quadruplet.
The best part would be we all change it, and then next Wednesday, whenever no, when is it? Yeah, next Wednesday when Olip is on, and he decides he's going to be on the official stream and he's going to log in. We all log in as well, and we just, hey, Olip, check out everybody's note, and he sees what's going on, and confuse him to no end. It would be so easy to confuse him.
Well, first we're going to have to teach him where the player note is located.
That could be a hitch in the plan. I hadn't anticipated that.
Someone make a video of it.
It's gonna have to be a pretty detailed walkthrough, though.
A 1 hour long video of how to change your player note.
Okay, first you want to hit the power button on your computer.
No, you gotta make sure the computer's plugged in first. It's the very first step.
You are talking about the streamer who didn't talk to Maiden for a week because she made him try treasure hunting.
Really?
He was
That's
pretty
how
salty
long-
about it, yeah.
That's how long he snubbed her because of that?
I don't know. I'm mostly making up stuff, but it sounded good.
Well, I knew he was really salty about the treasure hunt, but I didn't know he got that pissed about
Yeah.
it. Jeez.
To be honest, there was a conversation. Some of us, I don't know whether Zin, you might have been in the channel at the time. And last week when the treasure hunt was on, and we was in channel with all up about doing it, and he actually made reference to that particular time about being made to do the treasure hunting, and he actually said about how salty he actually got. It was rather funny.
Well,
Expand his horizons.
Yeah, there's
haven't
your
got
problem,
Maiden.
Maiden. Apparently expanding his horizons is not something he wants to do. I mean, I have at least tried the treasure hunting and the festivals in-game. Just not my thing, but I don't get so mad at people who want me to do it that I don't talk to them. Jeez.
It's okay, next we'll do a Hobnatigans with Olive.
That
I
sounds
still haven't-
awesome.
So whenever the anniversary festival rolls around, we all have to do it, and then just keep asking Olip constantly why he's not participating.
He's got to do the anniversary. I mean, if they've got something special lined up for the anniversary, I think anyone and everyone should be doing it.
They've come out and said that they're going to have something special for it, so you have to do it. There's going to be something there. They're doing something funky for it.
Well, hopefully it's going to be a one-time thing at the end of the day. You know, if you've got like a month to do it, you know, nearly anyone and everyone should do it. You know, something like that. It should be a one-time thing. It should be something that the reward from it at the end is a one-time thing. You can never get it again.
Yeah, I really hope they actually do that. Or if it's not a one-time thing like that, that it's extremely expensive whenever it comes to mithril coins to actually get it. So that you actually have to work a long time to get it.
Like bounty stuff that everyone knows.
I mean, the problem with making it one time only is there'll always be somebody like, you know, I mean, I wasn't there for the anniversary because I made a graphic making fun of my friend and he ruptured one of my testicles when he punched me. And so, you know.
So what if that happens? You're in the hospital bed and you just get a laptop and then you actually play that.
Well,
You know, there's no excuse not to play.
Zinger might not have a laptop.
That's what I play on.
Borrow one, ask a friend. Not being funny, but when I actually broke my neck and I was in hospital for 3-4 weeks, I still had a laptop there and I was still on Lotro and stuff like that when I was in hospital.
What's the matter?
You haven't brought me any food. The last of the 5 pillars is eating on camera. And if you don't bring snacks, I'm not going to complete the 5th pillar tonight. Everybody is very worried about it.
It needs to
You're
be
also out
crunchy
of
food
Coke
as well.
Zero.
We need to be able to hear
You have
that
one
you're eating.
bottle.
Mrs. Mustafa is an absolute potato chip addict. There's no chance we don't have something crunchy.
I thought you wanted sweet.
Yes, potato chips. We've got to know what potato chips you've got and what flavour they are, what they taste like, right? And you've got to advertise it on the stream because this is what Maiden Stream was about on the Red Salt Show.
I know. I frequently send maiden food porn on Twitter. That's been a thing.
Too much information.
Well, one day last week I sent her a picture of some beef pho soup that I had at a Vietnamese restaurant, and by coincidence she'd had pork pho soup for lunch, so Maiden and I had this weird symbiotic Vietnamese connection going.
There's a little selection of cookies.
All right. Mrs. Mustafa has brought a little selection of cookies. And Zinger was looking forward to you sticking your hand in the camera and waving to everybody.
Oh, gotta wave.
You don't have to do it if Zinger
I'm gonna
thinks it's a
do
good
it right
idea,
now
because Zinger's
because
a
Zinger
dick.
think is honey.
Oh, sorry.
We're gonna get a wave. Wow.
Nobody wants to see you pick my nose, honey, but thanks.
Oh, I don't see me on camera yet.
Or if you do want to see actual nose penetration on camera, you're going to have to pay $4.95 a minute.
Yeah, I feel like that's a different streaming service. That's not
You
Twitch.
might be right. I think as long as I keep pants on, it's probably okay on Twitch. Just has to be really weird fetish stuff that most people wouldn't identify as overtly sexual.
Please go to IRL.
Yeah, it's the
Where is she,
creative
Roxanne?
stream. You're getting creative with your stream.
Well, I was going to make the comment earlier. Somebody was joking about the only reason my wife brought me Diet Dew was because I was basically drinking most of her backwash. And it's like, we were going to be married 14 years in May. Drinking her backwash out of a pop glass would be like the most action I've had all month so far.
Wow.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
You
I think
poor
Feckless
thing.
might have lost it over that one. honey.
You poor thing. It's okay.
So more
bad
you
enough
want
that
Oh my
you've-
god, if only I could reach through the screen at the moment.
It's bad enough that you've ruined my life, honey, but now you've upset Feckless as well. It's not fair what you're doing to us. She doesn't seem very sympathetic, Feckless.
Hey,
What are you-
I'm on her side. I want to reach through the screen at you at the moment.
Are you chasing that horse?
And that's a goblin on a warg, and I'm gonna kill him.
Where?
Because I am a Barney badass hobbit. There we go. My war pony and I felony rode him down and murdered him in the face. It's a thing. Mrs. Mustafa was very thoroughly tested with outrageous statements well before we ever got engaged. My theory was either she'll murder me in the first 6 months we're dating, or she'll probably be a keeper, and I had to find out which. So we were talking the other day. She found these really yummy coconut-covered almonds that are dipped in chocolate at Aldi's, and they're like little teeny tiny bite-sized almond joys, but with a lot more almond relative to the coconut and chocolate. And she was like, okay, I'll see you when you get home. I'm going to Aldi's first. And I was like, all right, make sure you find those coconut-covered chocolate almonds. She's like, I'm not sure. I go, if you can't find any, don't come home. She just ignored me and didn't buy any.
You're wicked.
I never said I'm not a horrible person, Feckless. There's no time.
I never
have
said you was horrible. I just said you was wicked.
I've never claimed to be anything other than what I am, so.
It's amazing. RNG was on your side. Good lord, you got lucky.
Hey, you said about RNG. I did some raiding tonight, and a gold bracelet dropped in the raid. I rolled a 2 on the gold bracelet. We did an alt run, and no gold bracelet dropped, and there was just either head. What was it? There was a head, a Tomb of the Hound, or a housing item that dropped. I rolled a 97. How's that for RNG?
Yeah. RNG is cruel mistress.
The thing is, that's the first time I've actually rolled above 44 since before the new year.
What were you saying, Zingor?
Oh yeah, I was asking if you warmed up to those beer and dark chips.
Those chips were not good. Not good at all.
Because I'm eating some right now.
I gave them a chance. They smelled okay. They started out tasting like sour cream and onion, and then it just it went bad. Nope, I couldn't do it. If you watched the Red Salt Show and you saw the face that Fluff made whenever he tried the chips, that was the face I made whenever I tried those chips. That was not good stuff.
Yeah. Kind of a weird aftertaste, but I'm sticking to it.
Well, I know for a fact right now we've got barbecued potato chips, tortilla chips, pretzels, and I don't know if you'd classify them as chips, but we've got hot and spicy Cheez-Its and Wheat Thins also. There's no shortage of crispy snacks out there.
Wait a minute. They make hot and spicy Cheez-Its?
Yeah. They have kind of a Tabasco flavor to them.
They're fantastic.
Pretty
I
yummy.
am only familiar with original Cheez-Its. Actual just Cheez-Its. That's it.
Now they make a pepper jack Cheez-It. They make a Parmesan Cheez-It. They make an extra toasty Cheez-It. Apparently, they found out that people liked them when the Cheez-Its got just slightly overdone. So they're a little more golden brown than just orange. And we're eating on camera. I believe this is the 5th pillar.
Wow, I may need to expand my Cheez-It realm. That I did not know there were other flavors of Cheez-It.
I need to Google what a Cheez-It is.
It's a little square cheese-flavored cracker baked rather than a chip, which is normally fried.
We call them cheeselets. Cheeselet.
You people in the UK, you just got funky names for things.
Wait till I start.
Please. Oh man.
Have you guys ever heard of what a twiglet is?
Is that like a small twig?
Sort of. It's actually now. Hansi's gonna know what more or less what this is, right? Now we call something Marmite, right? But in Australia and stuff like that, it's Vegemite. Now a twiglet is actually a corn-based stick that is sort of like roasted in sort of like Marmite or Vegemite, as some of you guys call it, right? But they're really, really nice.
Sounds way too healthy to be sold in the US.
Yeah, they might be.
Best part of this is I'm watching stream and Big Ed can't comment because he's too busy chewing.
That's a big plus with the viewers when I am chewing and can't talk. They like that. I think that's one of the reasons why me eating on camera is one of the 5 tenets.
No, it's Ted Ents. You gotta make sure you get the Ed in there.
Well, I think I was actually saying pillars rather than tenets.
That was some fantastic Photoshop work by Zingor, I must say. It's a little high on the hairline, but other than that was pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely had the Christopher Walken forehead thing going.
It blended very nice, but it was a little bit on the unbelievable side. On
What?
Like eyebrow to hairline ratio was a little unbelievable.
Well, I'm just glad that, Ed did all the things tonight. He won't be struck by lightning.
Oh, and more importantly, I've managed to have a viewer count in the mid to high 30s while doing all of that stupid crap.
Well, that, and you didn't have to spend 40 days and 40 nights on the top of a mountain to
Also
wait
true.
for it. You know, there's that.
Not unlike Mort's 40-day stream he'll be doing.
Really, though, if you think about it, to have a weapon that makes your army invincible and that melts the faces off of Nazis, that seems like a small price to pay. Plus, I think everybody who's listening will be excited to see how much better of a Photoshop job that Zinger does on your next graphic, Mort. That will be fun to see.
No, I've got to stop laughing at things like that. Because I'm never my way.
But this is why you need to get a camera effect. So.
Hey, I'm going to have a camera come Tuesday. Don't worry.
Yeah,
My first official stream, I'm going to have a camera.
Yeah, be prepared for that, because there are some things that you can't unsee.
You know how much forehead I'm going to give Mort on this next thing? Oh, man.
I'm Mortis Warm, my pact.
By the way, Feck, have you seen the graphic that was made for what is it, the Teletubbies? Have you seen that one?
I know who the Teletubbies are, but what graphic are you on about?
Yeah, that's a Zingor classic, as well as the streaming family tree.
Well,
Because according to the streaming family tree, myself and Big Ed over here have 3 children between us.
And more on the way.
yeah, and Maiden's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew is the one that we tend not to talk about the most. However.
Yeah, well, Andrew's the one that I keep taking the mick out of because I keep wanting to put Pink Fluffy Unicorns as a song on his channel and he won't let me.
Oh yeah, he blocks that straight away. Yeah, you better not even
And Barbie
attempt
Girl.
it.
I've tried it a few times and he just won't have it. I'm going to get it on there. I really will get it on there.
He used to let Barbie Girl slide because I know I've heard it about 100 times on his stream. That might be why he's blocking it now.
You type it in and it doesn't even go through anymore. I think I tried a whole heap in different languages as well, and they still get blocked.
Oh man, he doesn't even let the German version go through. That's unfortunate.
Hansi, you can change these things now.
See, what you got to remember with Andrew as well is,
I know this.
I mean, me and Andrew, we're both in the same kin on Evernight, and we both do tier 2 raiding together. But what's really funny is we're both the CC classes because he plays Lordmaster and I'm on the Burglar. So, you know, we actually both rely on each other when it comes to raiding, and we cover each other all the time. And, you know, when it comes to gameplay and stuff like that, we've got a really, really, really good relationship gameplay-wise. I'm just trying not to annoy him too much because I just know for a fact that he's going to do something and he's going to he's going to get it where it's me that's going to cut the flag for it.
But in the U.S., we refer to that as leaving you out to dry. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he's going to do to you.
Well, the thing is, in the UK, we actually call it something different, but this is a PG-13 channel, so I'm not going to actually say what it is.
No, fair enough. By the way, Ed, I'm watching stream, and that pillar that refers to inventory management is screaming right now.
Not from lack of effort. I just cannot get these stupid scouts off of this memorial. I can't kill them fast enough as a burglar.
The only thing I'm actually worried about, because I've just noticed Maiden said about yes to family tree, is I'm actually worried that I could be the old girl around here.
Oh no, it's okay. Stina is already the fairy godmother. You're good to go.
I know, I'm on about the old girl. I mean, fairy god might be something different, but I'm talking about the old girl.
Well, now that you've said it out loud, you've put the idea in Zingor's mind. Way to go.
Am I supposed to make a revision now? Because I would have a lot of names to put on.
I'm a 70s chick.
I think you're probably okay. Up until now, All Up has been the old girl, and I don't think he'll be losing his position. Plus, you're the new kid on the block from a time on the team standpoint, so
Yeah.
you got that going for you.
Yeah, time on the team I have, but time in the game, ooh, you know, I am pretty old.
Everybody wish Maiden a good night.
Maiden, you're heading out? Happy St.
No.
Patty's Day. Have a good night, Maiden, and a good weekend, and hopefully you'll get a chance to do some streaming.
Night, Maiden. Sleep well.
There'll be lots of poor hungover people tomorrow who are just going to want to chillax and watch streams.
That's probably why she's got to get off early. She's probably got a full day tomorrow, having to give all these sort of like therapy sessions to.
I can't understand why I have a headache. I never have a headache. Did you go out drinking last night? Not any more than usual. Yeah, you did, didn't you? You went out drinking too much last night. That's why you have a headache. Shut up.
All right, we got that memorial flame lit. That counts for something, I hope.
Oh my God, Sid.
I don't need scouts, I need bowmasters. And you're a bowmaster, so I'm going to murder you.
Words to live by right there.
Didn't even get credit for a bowmaster kill. We probably wandered too far away from the memorial. This is a little aggravating at this point.
Yeah, I heard burglar mounted combat was the worst in the game, and they've improved it
No.
since it was the worst in the game.
Never. I love mounted combat on Berg.
All right, well, one of the things I would appreciate, Feckless, let me get done with this fight and we'll take a look at my setup. Maybe I'm doing something dumb that would be very typical of me.
Even before they made it better, Feck? You didn't mind it?
Even before they made it better, I loved it. I've always loved it. The only problem I have now is they've actually lowered the amount of damage that we do. That they've completely nerfed the burglar. I mean, I used to ride around one-shotting things.
Yeah, see, before they made any changes to mounted combat, I was told that Burglar and Champ were the two worst, and Burglar was
No.
the worst of the two.
I think the biggest problem is people weren't doing it right. That they wasn't doing the mounted combat right, and you've got to let the rage or whatever they call
Fury.
it build up. You've got to let the fury build up and then use certain skills. But then you've got to have the right skill order to do things. Before you even go in to do a single attack, you need to be using, the skill that makes you look like a little goblin on the horse, right?
Yeah.
You need to go from that, which is basically your hip. That's basically your stealth skill, right? So you always get a big damage skill from that, but you've got to get your fury up, right? And if you check out your skills, it'll actually say that this skill will actually do extra damage, such and such, if you're using from this particular skill.
Stratagem.
Yeah, stratagem.
Yep.
Right. The only beef I've had with the Berg mounted is, hang on, let me get my mount out quickly. There it is. The only beef I've had is with the skill impungent character. And that's a skill where you can take over control of another mob. Sometimes you'll use that and it just doesn't work, and you're just like, look, I've used this skill on that mob and it's not working. And there is some sort of bug on that, but I don't know what the bug is. It just doesn't work.
Were you wearing the proper perfume at the time?
Sorry?
Nothing.
I laughed. Zingo. That was
I missed it. I just heard, was I wearing something at
The
something
proper
time?
perfume.
Yeah,
Essence
I
of
always
all.
wear the proper perfume.
Hashtag heart.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna head out as well. So I will see you all later.
Mort,
Good
thanks for
night.
coming by.
Yeah.
Night
care,
more.
And I had to show up, to at least emphasize one of those 5 pillars. That inventory management is just something near and dear to my heart.
It's a constant struggle for me.
It is. It is.
And if I don't see you over the weekend, Mark, I shall see you Tuesday night.
Yeah, I can hardly wait for you to whip the crowd into a frenzy, and
Yeah.
then I have to take over. I can hardly wait for that.
I shall try and warm them up just nicely for you.
Do you want to plug the podcast at all before you go?
I can.
Sure.
LotroPlayers.com. Lotro Players Academy specifically is the podcast that I am on. We haven't recorded a new episode in a couple weeks, but I think we are recording a new one next week. I can't be certain. But it's definitely a podcast if you are a new player to the game that you would like to that you should listen to. There's a lot of info um, from people who are just starting the game or who have just started the game within a year and a half ish, to people who have been playing it since open beta. So there's a lot of information dropped in a single podcast, so you should definitely check it out. And it also has me in it, so you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Even if you've been playing for a long time, you might just be clueless about a lot of stuff like I am. So check out the
Right,
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
I've been playing the game since 2008, and whenever we did the champion episode, I learned how to properly play my champion that I am currently leveling up. So there you go.
I had forgotten about a couple of skills that I hadn't been using, and listening to them talk about it on the podcast, I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I should probably be triggering that.
Right, and the way some of the certain skills stack with other skills, and there's just a lot of nuances to some stuff that you may not be taking notice of, which could help you at the lower levels. They don't necessarily have to help you well, they do help you at end game, level 1 to 5, but there are some things that we talk about that will help you as you are leveling up your character as well.
Well, that might be something you guys don't think about a lot, is that I think another area where Academy is a good podcast in particular is for players who've been playing but maybe haven't had any characters at level cap. I mean, you guys talked about a lot of things that, you can expect at 105th that may not come into play for your 40th, 50th, 60th level characters yet. So if you're worried about getting to level cap and not quite knowing how to play the end game, it's a good way to learn it ahead of time too.
Yeah, and I think our next episode that we are going to be doing is the leveling episode from level 65 to 75, which I believe is Great River and Dunland. We are going to be going over those two areas as areas to level up between 65 and 75. So, going over all the content, or the things you can expect in those areas anyway.
That's a lot of content to cover.
Yes, and it is. We actually had to put it off because we would have had a little bit of a truncated podcast the other week, and we just didn't feel like that. we didn't feel like that we could have covered everything in one podcast because of the way it would have been truncated. So we're waiting till we're all available and that we can all record it and cover it properly, I would say. There's a lot of content to cover in Dunland and Great River, so that's what we're ramping up for. That and the constant question of whether Pineleaf is in fact an android AI or not.
See, that's pretty good actually, because if with me going on before you, because I want to sort of try and concentrate on sort of game mechanics in a way, even though I want to do end game sort of stuff. Now, Ed's asked me about the mounted thing and everything like that for burglar at the moment, which is, it's a big thing. Not a lot of people realise that there are certain things you can actually do on Berg mounted that make a big difference to what actually happens. So with you leading on from me with the lower end from what I really want to do, the game mechanics will, for what I want to do, will actually fit into what you're going to do after I finish.
Yeah, there's a lot of content out there for Lotro in general. If you try to find it anyway, that will basically, I guess, lead you to the direction that you want to go, that will lead you towards the most efficient way to play the game, I guess. And even if that most efficient way is, for instance, red line champion versus yellow line champion, because you like red line champion more than you like yellow line champion. So there is a lot of content out there for that type of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, you saying that red and yellow line champion, I had a conversation today with someone in my kin, well, within my social kin, because they're not raid orientated like I am within my main raiding kin, which is what Andrew's in. They're asking questions about champion and stuff like that, and they run around all the time with two single one-hand axes, right? And they're in yellow line. And I'm like, why is it you're using two one-hand axes in yellow line? And they gave me the answer and everything like that, and I was like, look, this is what most people do in the game. I'm not talking about myself, because a lot of the advice that I've got on my alt characters, I mean, Burglar's my main. There's not a lot of people can actually give me a lot of information about Burglar that I don't already know. But when it comes to my alts, I take a lot of information from what other people tell me, right? And I actually build my characters around what people tell me. Especially people that play main characters as that class and things like that, and I can see what they do and things like that. And then I take that information on, and then I try to pass it on, which is what I've done with this particular person from this kin. And I've said, look, when you go yellow line, you need to think about using a two-handed weapon, because the damage output is a lot higher with a two-handed. When you're single target, you can go two one-handers because you get the extra strike from certain skills. So instead of doing two strikes, that you only do with a two-hander weapon, you'll get three strikes with two single-hander weapons. So you get the extra strikes, which means you're doing more DPS, per second. And it's just a tiny little thing, as far as I see, where the type of weapon you use, and it is just a tiny thing that makes a difference to the amount of DPS that you actually do, to whether it be in a single target mob or whether you actually having to take down multiple mobs at the same time. And if you've got two single-handers, and say for instance you're doing boss 3 in the new raid, because you got all the glooms, if you're holding two single-handers, you don't get the distance. You're actually doing less distance at AoE than you do when you're holding a two-hander. You actually get more distance with a two-hander as well. And it's just little tiny things like that that can make the difference to whether you actually succeed or fail.
And see, the thing that I have been told is that two single-handers is faster than a two-hander.
It is.
So you actually get more skills completed in a short amount of time. Therefore, you make up for that minuscule damage.
On a single target. On
yes.
a single target, you do. But if
yes.
you've got multiple targets, you don't.
Well,
and this is the thing.
Yeah, you should listen to the Champions episode then, because I've been told different. There's a little plug for the podcast. I've been told different. Anyway.
By some expert champions. I mean, you guys really had a pretty good guest list for that, too.
Yeah. The unfortunate part about the Champions episode is we had to record it twice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the first time we recorded it, it was 2.5 to 3 hours long. We had a special guest. We had Andang in there. He was there with us, and we were talking to him, and we did all 3 trait trees, and then 2 days later, Brannick found out that the file was corrupted and that we were going to have to re-record it. And whenever we had to re-record it, Andang was no longer available to record it with us, and it was just a mess. But yeah, I've been told it doesn't matter if you're red line or your yellow line, you want to go with 2 one-handers, because of the speed increase. The speed increase makes up for any sort of lack of DPS that you see between the weapon types.
It's very situational, actually. In my
It is.
experience, I like if I'm in general melee, especially on landscape, I prefer two-handed because of the speed. Particularly fighting half trolls, I find I can fend off their concussing attacks easier fighting two-handed. But like mounted combat, the other reason I like two-handed dual wield is because you're getting buffs from both weapons instead of just one weapon. But when you're in
That's
mounted
true.
combat, the second weapon is never used. Your primary is the only weapon you use when you're mounted. So you'll see me switch to my two-handed sword a lot of times when I'm on my champion war steed.
And this is the main reason why, for me, essentially, this is why I say that, champion's not my main. It's not a class that I really know about. I go on what other people tell me. Now, I mean, I play on Evernight, so I go on what people from Evernight tell me. I've got my 105 champion and things like that, and I've got on what I've been told, what I need to get, how I need to try and approach things and stuff like that. And in the past, prior to level 75, when I used to play a champion a fair bit, I always went round with 2 one-handers, and everyone was using 2-handers, and I always saw the benefit of 2 one-handers being I was hitting things really, really quickly, but that was single target. Right, and that people were sort of saying to me, look, if you can do AoE, you get a single, you get a two-handed weapon. Fair enough, you're doing 1 hit less on certain skills. Now, the skills you're actually doing 1 hit less on are skills where you're doing 2 hits as a two-hander, but you're doing 3 hits as a single 2 one-handers. But your AoE skills are the same. Right, so it doesn't matter whether it be a two-hander or a one-hander, right? You're still doing the same amount of hits, but you're actually doing less damage with the one-handers, right? Which is why people run around with two-handers. And I actually saw that, plus the bonuses that you actually got from a two-hander and stuff like that. The overall amount upped on AoE on the yellow line class, the amount up by using a two-hander rather than a one-hander. But if you go red line, you use 2 one-handers, right? Because it is single target damage, and you get the extra hits, right? Because you get the third hits and stuff like that, because it's a single target thing.
And I think it really comes down to actually how you actually spend your trait points now as well, because you can't. What is the max right now? 82 trait points.
Yeah,
class
82.
trait points. So you, with that, with the fact that whenever you cross trait into another discipline, you get 2 points per skill spent. I really feel like that plays into it a lot. Depending on what you decide to buff up, in the other trait trees. So, one of the things that even during the captain's episode that we did, we talked about the fact that if they actually removed that thing, that stipulation that you spend 2 points in the other trait trees, it would allow for more flexibility people would actually be able to blend trait trees much more and kind of, you know, be able to specialize a little more. But I don't know. It's really it really depends what you're doing, because most of the people I've heard talking about it have been, they have mostly been doing solo and questing content. I don't know that I have heard from a hardcore raiding champion.
I think this is
So
maybe where I'm coming from then, because you know I do raiding all the time, and
Right.
you know, I do have all these different characters where I'm raiding on them, and I mean I know, as I once said, you know, Berg's my main, but I do raiding all the time on my champion, and
You
I
said
think that's where
doo-doo.
it comes into it.
Yes, you did say doo-doo. And, yeah, and I think it really, and the thing that you need to take with a bit of grain of salt when you get to that point for the hardcore rating thing is you have to take into account people's legendary legacies, their armor as well. You know, that kind of thing plays into it a lot as well. So you have a lot of customization whenever it comes to that type of thing, that it may actually not be that you're using a two-hander and you're doing less DPS than the dude over here using two one-handers, because he's using two one-handers. The reason you may be doing less DPS than him is because of the way he's built his armor and things like that.
And he's shooting single target, of course, as well.
Yeah, it may be a way he has his trait tree set up. You know, there's a lot of things that play into it now. It's a lot less cut and dry as it was back in the day, if you want to use that phrase, as much as we use that phrase.
You know, and to be honest, I mean, and that sort of like then leads on to another conversation, which I mean, Ed, you've got a 105 Berg as well, haven't you? I think you've
No,
got 105.
Little Ed
No,
is
you
my
haven't.
highest level Berg at 87.
But you know, there's many classes out there that are 105 and stuff like that. And on the trait tree aspect, you know, because we're starting, you know, we've got to a point where we're starting to cut out certain things within particular trait lines, right? You know, you take the Berg, right? I mean, my Berg at the moment, I'm probably out of 82 points, you know, I'm probably spending about 40 points in the red line, and the rest of them are going into different lines, you know. And the way things are with the game, are we focusing too much on, or is the game, and this isn't us as players, this is the way the game is going, it's forcing us to cross over into other trait paths, right? Is it actually become such a thing now that we have to cross over into other trait paths? It's like on Burglar, I don't put anything into vital points. Now vital points is on Burglar is to do with lowering the crit defense of a mob. But I don't put into vital points because there's a class essence out there where you get minus 10% crit chance or crit defense on a mob. So I don't put into vital points because vital points gives minus 5% crit defense. The class essence gives minus 10% crit defense, all right, which is a 25% chance, right? But it cost me three points of my trait points to get a 45% chance, you know. But I'd rather go with the 25% chance to get a 10%. Or I'd rather go with the a 25% chance to get a 10% reduction which is a high reduction, of course. And because you crit so much as a Berg, you've literally always got minus 10% crit defense on a mob. You know, so, you know, it's almost like, you know, we're not being forced as such to spend points in other lines, but it's not going to be long before we're going to be sat there and we're going to have 2 full lines. You know, I'm going to be having the Quiet Knife, plus I'm also going to either have Gambler or Mischief Maker or something like that. And you might as well turn trait trees, get rid of them, and turn it back to the days of old where you pick what you want to do, you know, and the skills come from the abilities that you've got and the levels that you've made, and from the class quests that you've done.
Right. And there's the argument that when it comes to that, or if it comes to that, that you are actually forced to use skills that maybe you haven't used in a long time, and the last time you actually used them was just to complete your deeds for your class and that type of thing. So, you know, it maybe it's forcing you to use different skills that you haven't used in a while. So it's an interesting. I think it's one of those ever evolving things that I really wouldn't want to be one of the devs to to attempt to try to even all that out.
Yeah.
And have to deal with all of the belly aching and the harsh things that people say about all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's not possible to change that without making a percentage of the players unhappy.
Right.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to change or, you know, advance the game without ruffling somebody's feathers, I suppose.
But I know, I mean, as a Berg, we're almost at the point, as a Berg, we're almost at the point as what the game was when we was actually before Moria, where you can actually do CC, you can do DPS, and everything like that, if that makes sense, because we've got, you know, when we're in Redline, we can do Exposed Throat, you know, so we can do the conjunctions, even though the conjunctions are worthless. You know, you can do, you know, basically, you know, you double down to, you can use Diversion, and you can use Provoke to stun someone. Right, you can do high DPS. Right, you've also got things like Dust in the Eyes. The only thing you haven't got is what you would have in Yellow Line is, oh god, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you haven't got Cycling Twist. That's the only thing you haven't got from Red Line, and you're not going to get it. But it's going to get to a point where you are going to get it. You know, you're going to get all the Red Line, you're going to get all the Blue Line, you're going to be able to do all the CC, you're going to be able to do all the DPS, you know, and it's just getting to a point where it used to be like in the days of old, you know, and it makes you wonder, are the trait trees actually becoming to a point where it's just null and void? You know, you're getting back to the way it was pre-Moria.
Oh, back in the days of the Champstrel. Oh, I loved my Champstrel.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Champs, you know. I mean, I think Champs are probably almost getting to the point now where you had Ebon and Rising Ire. You know, you did Ebon Ire on the Minstrel, and then you threw Rising Ire onto the Guardian, or vice versa.
That actually saved my minstrel butt quite a few times.
Yeah, and it's getting to that point again, even on the Champion and with the Guardian. I mean, the only thing we don't have on the Burger at the moment is when you used to hit Provoke, it used, or Enrage even, it used to send a mob all over the place. You know, Enrage now is just a 5% incoming damage debuff, or incoming damage buff. You know, and if it wasn't for...
Well, the problem is we sound sitting here talking about all this. We sound like a bunch of purists, and back in the day, you know how it used to be, and the unfortunate thing is they have to change all of that those things to make it easier on new players, and you know bring those types of players in. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I wouldn't say purists. I think it's more that people can see how the game's evolved. I
yeah,
think that's the
yeah.
better way of saying it. The game has evolved a hell of a lot over the last 10 years or 11 years. You know, because, you know, for those of us that have been around since before beta and stuff like that, you're looking at 11 years. You know, and it's like Provoke, for instance. You know, you get -2% crit chance. And I used to sit here day in, day out, and it's just like, what is the point of using Provoke? But now we've got enough points, trait points, where you can actually go through the red line and through the blue line. Right, Provoke is actually worth something now because you can actually chain stun a mob. You know, so Provoke is actually worthwhile while you're in red line. You can literally chain stun a mob in red line, and it's got to the point where, hang on, am I a red line berg or am I a blue line berg? You know, and even going back in the day, you sort of made your choice. I was either going to go down the gambler route, or I was going to go down the red line route, or I was going to go down the yellow line route. Even back then, you know. But it's now getting to the point of you don't know what line you're actually playing. You know, so maybe there's some changes that need to happen. You know, maybe extend it so instead of 2 points per trait point outside of your line, you go to 3, but then you've got to be looking at adjustments to the way the amount of DPS that you do and things like that. That you know, you can look at the damage that you or the output damage, you know, on skills. But could that be easier?
Yeah, I guess. Like I said, I don't want to be the devs to try to figure out how to deal with all that. But I really need to head out and go to bed at this point, so I will end the conversation here.
Are you sure? Feckless and I wanted to talk to you about Bernie Sanders.
Oh no, I wanted to talk about Donald Trump and the British
that
agency.
That was a bad decision on my to actually talk about politics on stream. So I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna head out and go to bed.
We'll call that a rain check.
There may have been adult beverages involved in my decision to talk about those types of things. So I'm just going to say no this time.
All right, discretion is the better part of valor. So
yeah, there we go. So I will see you all later. Good night.
See you, Mort.
Good night, Mort. Yeah, Bloodborne made a comment one night about how he didn't like to talk religion or politics on stream, and my response was, "But Jesus told me liberals are bad."
It don't bother me.
I'm sure that scored you a lot of points with Blood.
He was amused, actually. I think most people know I'm just full of crap and like to throw grenades.
Oh, that's why we get on so well then. That sort of thing don't bother me. And, you know, hopefully people actually get to know me when I start streaming. And I'm one of these where, you know, fair enough, I have my opinions, and yet I will actually bow down and sort of accept other people's. But yet, there are certain times where, if I know the information's right, I will not back down. I will never, ever, ever back down if I know the information is right.
Well, the problem with getting to know you, Feckless, is you're barely on maybe 19 or 20 hours a day. It's really tough to catch your stream to kind of get a feel for your personality.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's just not enough hours in a day, you know. I mean, there's me doing 25, 26-hour day streams, and,
It'd be a lot better that way, yeah.
You know.
I think I'm middle of nowhere on additional task turn-ins. So...
It's quite funny actually because I hit 100 followers and I sort of like, even before I hit 100 followers, I did like a 26-hour stream.
Because a 24-hour wouldn't be long enough.
No, well, you can actually blame Maiden and who else was it? Zynga. You can actually blame Zynga, Hansi, Maiden. They got me back into playing a different game. I'm not going to mention it here, but it's sort of like initials SW. And we all went to play Dark Side, and I got a little bit roped up into the storyline, and I ended up doing sort of like a 26-hour stream because I just couldn't drop it. The storyline was just so good. I was just like, I've got to keep going, I've got to see what happens. And every time I thought, right, I can log off in a minute, the storyline just got even better.
Don't look at me. I'm pretty sure that was all ninth pawn on that.
Hey, no, it wasn't just nights. You was there as well.
Hey Ed, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna go for a nap. I'm starting to
Okay,
fall
Hunzy,
asleep.
thanks for popping by and hanging out with us here in Discord. Appreciate it,
It's been
bud.
awesome.
See ya, Hunzy.
See you, Hansi.
All right, take care, guys. Take care, everyone in chat, and yeah, I'll catch up with you very soon.
And I'm glad you got to see me, Hunzy. I know it was a big treat for you, so thanks for popping
Is it
by.
like
Yeah, well,
4 o'clock in the
at least
afternoon?
it actually still says Big Ed Mustafa watching Andrew All Stars. I mean,
That's
it's like
weird.
4 days now, 5 days now.
I don't know.
Andrew must be streaming like feck.
Your toilets do flush the
Yeah.
wrong way.
He's been going for the last week.
All right, guys, I'll catch up with you soon.
Later.
No.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Wow, look at that housing storage. We got space. What's going on?
Our new friend probably came and cleaned us out, which is fine.
Who, what? Where?
Tailoring. More cooking. Scholar mats. Oh, I do woodworking. I might be able to use that scroll. Who'd have thunk?
Oh, that reminds me. Ed, you wanted to know about mounted combat?
Yeah. I didn't want to break up the conversation, but since
Yeah.
it's winding down a little bit, I'll pull that up here as soon as I get done dropping off some stuff for the kin chest.
You blame Mort for that.
No, I invited him to talk about the podcast, and that brought up the whole champions conversation. Perfectly fine.
Hopefully he'll do a burglar one and get me along.
Well, they said they were doing them in alphabetical order. So I think
Oh,
you
in that
missed
case,
the
I've done
burglar
Berg.
one. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm trying to remember if they have or not, because I know they were doing them in alphabetical order, but they were also kind of depending them on like when they could get, experts on.
Oh,
to come
guests and
with
things,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I
I'll
can
have to ask
check if
him.
they've done it.
Yeah, check with him soon. Ask if they've done the Berg one. Yeah. A couple of years ago, I actually got voted the best burglar on Snowbourne.
Yes, they have done burglar.
Damn.
We're not
It's
angry
funny.
that you missed it, Feckless. We're just disappointed.
Yeah. People used to take the mickey out of me because I always loved playing Yellow Line Berg. And of course, with this new raid, it's come back to bite people in the arse because you had all these people doing red and blue line, never had any gear whatsoever set up to do yellow line, and there's me that used to play yellow line. So it's come back and bit them on the arse and everything like that. And they used to take the mickey out of me for being a Yellow Line Berg.
Yeah, I'm surprised yellow line isn't more prevalent. It's quite playable solo. My secondary trait line is yellow.
Oh my god, yellow line's awesome.
Yeah. If it wasn't for I can't believe I'm blanking. Cable Knit Dragon walked me through some of the combo moves and stuff, and helped me learn them. And I practiced solo, and then we went out and did some 3-man and 6-man stuff, and was obviously highly useful.
How goes it?
Pretty good. We have successfully completed all 5 pillars of quality Lotro streaming tonight, including eating on camera.
Good boy.
Thanks to Mrs. Mustafa bringing me life-giving cookies.
Oh, hang on. Did you do your tasks?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
We did task turn-ins in Wildemore. I think you might have been busy conversing while that was going on.
Yeah, I was expecting you to have gone to the housing place. I was watching the stream because I was watching it on the other screen. So I was expecting you to go to the housing area to do the task boards there.
Well, and I probably still will. I have some more. I haven't completed my maximum limit, and I've got more stuff to turn in. But I had to empty out some inventory, so inventory management first, task turn in second. And I wanted to make sure there were plenty of goodies for the other burglars. So... And as Feckless alluded to, the task turn-in area in the housing areas is glorious. They have all of the boards lined up in a row by level, from 1st through 10th, all the way to 101st to 110th level. And if you've got an item that's usable by several different... Boy, I'm starting to get fuzzy now that it's after 12 o'clock here, Central. Different factions was the word I was searching for. You can pick which faction you want the rep with, which is very handy. So, like these shiny carapaces, they're 84th level. So we go to the 81st to 90th board and look for shiny. Task Slimy, no go.
I'm sorry, Ed. All I have is RC Cola, not Coke Zero. Is that okay with you?
Sure. If that's what you have, that's what you should drink, Singer.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to make sure.
No, that's okay. Even I have to drink Diet Dew once in a while. Thanks to Mrs. Mustafa being a mean mistreater and a cruel harpy of a woman.
I heard you.
Okay.
I heard that. Good on her. You say that I said good on her.
So those shinies are useless. I can go ahead and dump those. What else do we got? I got a bunch of ripped cloaks.
Now, when Mrs. Mustafa starts streaming, you think you'll be able to get Angela Lansbury to co-stream with her?
Yeah, I don't see any problem with that.
They can have a little podcast or something.
Mm-hmm. This is Mustafa and Angela Lansbury talk murder, she wrote. Kind of writes itself.
Murder we wrote. I don't know.
Murder she napped to. That would be most appropriate.
Oh, yeah.
So again, task turn-ins can only do good things for you. Do task turn-ins, they will make you happy. Oh, didn't get the mute button on. Excuse me.
Gesundheit. To be honest, it wasn't for a couple of weeks ago. It was Evil and Gussie that actually showed me where all these task boards were. I used to actually go around to all the different areas to try and hand tasks in. I didn't realise he had all these task boards in the housing area.
Yeah, I try to show this off on stream whenever I can, but nobody ever watches. So, or they're like Zinger and they just fall asleep about 3 minutes after they tune in. It's like,
Yeah, that's the
oh,
fishing.
Big Ed Mustafa's streaming. I can't wait to. That kind of happens. So.
Yeah, I mean, how come, Zin, how come you stayed awake tonight?
What now? What?
I think Zin's actually managed to stay awake because, you know, you had a few other people around here.
That could
Something
be.
like that. Oh my gosh, Beauty and the Beast came out today, and I didn't see it.
It probably grossed $200 million too.
Hello there.
Actually, I hate to admit it, but one of my guilty TV pleasures right now, I've been watching the Mindy Project on Hulu. That's actually reasonably funny occasionally.
Hey Druids, how you doing?
Druid's Fire, welcome.
Oh yeah, Druid, come on, hand out the link. Hopefully you can do it. Give us the link for the interview. Oh,
Hasn't been published yet.
shocking.
I think we're good for now. I didn't quite get all 10 tasks turned in though.
Now,
9 out of 10 for the day.
if she typos and happens to throw in 500 fishing, and everybody reads it and expects it, you think the devs will add it?
They'll have to at that point. In fact, I
That's journalistic integrity.
would heartily encourage Druid's Fire to make up a bunch of stuff about fishing updates to make it happen for us. Well, we will look forward to that, Druid's Fire, and welcome. So, let's find a vendor.
I'm pleased to be of service.
I always like to open scrolls when I'm already on the Sell tab.
Well, at least you tried. That's the important thing.
That is a job well done.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine Cord trying to do fishing? No. Actually, he should do, because he's actually in the lowlands at the moment, and there's plenty of water around there.
That blue water right by the stables in Ostguruth is terrific for catching your first trout.
Hey, he's actually just finished doing the, you know, the spider area?
Mm-hmm.
He's just finished doing that, which means his next area, he's not on next week, unfortunately. He's away with his son, apparently. So the week after that, he should be going into the Red Maid area.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got all the red pools. I know that he did some book quests there yesterday. So he should be doing the other quests up around there. So can you imagine him fishing in the red pools?
Yes. The red pools are not bad fishing.
You're going to have to message him.
Because he cares so much about what I think?
I'll tell you what, if you message him on the, what's it called?
Oh, Slack?
Yeah, message him on Slack. I bet he'll do it.
Okay, I am looking at Dr. J20 and I am looking at Zaylock. Anybody know either of these folks?
To what?
It's 12:30. I'm about 30 minutes over. I thought this was a good stopping point, so I'm looking for somebody for us to go host and raid.
That's a good thing about the time that you run. You can go over as much as you want. It don't matter.
I know, but I'm a little tired. I had another long, hard week at work where my emotions got played with and lots of stuff got dumped on us again. So we had a bunch of equipment to install, and then the customer decided, hey, you guys haven't done a rack elevation audit in a while. Could you do all 180 equipment racks for us while you're in the middle of installing all of this crap? And of course, my management all went, yeah, sure, no problem. We'll get in on all of that right away. And I was like, thanks, guys. So we're going to go make a new friend. Let's try...
They spaced quest objectives just far enough away that I want to use my horse for all of them. But it kind of is a waste of time because of how long the animation takes.
And let's
There's
take
no
a
one
look at... no, there's a couple of streamers that I haven't run into before. So now we're listening a little bit to
Red Line.
Zaylock.
I'm not sure. I'll figure that out later. We're doing some tune hopping.
Nobody's dropped an F-bomb in the first 10 seconds of us watching them, so that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, Zaylock. Okay, let's raid him.
Okay, Zaylock for the win.
Could do some inventory management.
Okay, this will wrap it up for me. I want to thank Zinger and Feklas and Mort and Hunzi for coming by and hanging out in Discord with me. I want to thank everybody who came by to actually watch the stream tonight. Pleasant surprise to have so many viewers on St. Paddy's Day, but that's okay. Glad you guys are having a safe, quiet St. Paddy's Day without a hangover tomorrow. Or some of you were just partying at home and didn't want to drive. Thank you for Frontier Killa for following my stream, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. So we're going to go pop over and say hi to Zaylock here in a minute. I have to count down quietly from 10 before I switch, so Eldolith doesn't yell at me for cutting off the end of the stream. And you can say Lotro Stream Raid, Mustafa Raid, Coke Zero Raid, whatever you'd like. We have accomplished the 5 pillars of quality Lotro streaming tonight, and at the risk of sounding immodest, I say it was a job well done. We got our fishing in, we got our crafting in, and I've eaten cookies. I'm a happy man. And good night, everybody.